Hello and welcome back, guys. We're now starting a new story, WonderLands Lost Star, written by Chu-Won Luke. You can find author's profile link in the description. Let's begin Chapter 1, Welcome to the Villain's World. Intro. Izumi Midoriya, a quirkless girl about to enter high school, instead, finds herself entering Twisted Wonderland, a place void of quirks and dominated by magic. She enrolls at Night Raven College, an all-boys school. All with students as handsome as the devil. How will Izumi survive, especially when some of the boys have emotional luggage? Accompanied by a flame cat, Izumi finds herself at the center of a possible reverse harem and somehow gaining a power that is not a quirk or magic. Will her soulmates want her to go back? But most importantly, will she want to go back in the end? Another summer goes by in Japan. Especially for one named Izumi Midoriya, although she feels as if everything is against her. Since her youth, she wanted to be a hero, which would be nigh impossible as she was quirkless. A fact that one Katsuki Bakugo always reminded her of. In a normal setting, she would have gone down to a certain lane where the sludge villain was, resulting in her meeting with All Might, learning the truth, being selected as his successor, and the rest would be history. But Izumi took a different direction. She went out to a forest where she used to play with Bakugo when they were still kids. Things really changed since. She felt like a huge weight following her since she was declared quirkless. Was it to be her fate to be on the sidelines? To be overlooked? To be mocked? Glint. Izumi suddenly blinked. She turned and spotted a mirror. A rather large one. It looked old, like from a fantasy film. Yet it was in pristine condition. Ah, my dear beloved. Izumi looked up and swore she heard someone. Looking around, she did not see anyone. A lovely and noble flower of evil. She then turned her gaze to the mirror, which now had greenish blazes in it. Truly you are the most appealing of all. Izumi was surprised. Was the mirror talking to her? Why did it call her a flower of evil? She was no villain. But she found herself walking to the mirror, seemingly hypnotized by the allure of the fire in it. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the, as the voice faded. Then Izumi heard the sound of a carriage coming, pulled by horses, by the sound of the hooves. Those who are guided by the dark mirror, as long as your heart desires, take the hand that appears in the mirror. At that a hand did emerge from the mirror. Flames that turn even stars into ashes, ice that imprison even time, great tree that swallow even the sky. Don't be afraid of the power of darkness. Come now, show your power. Mine, theirs, and yours. There's only little time left for us. Do not let go of that hand, at all costs. Entranced by the sound of the voice, Izumi reached out her hand, and it was pitch black. Meanwhile, the mirror vanished without a trace. In a certain coffin, Izumi was inside, in new robes, and strangely some symbols had appeared on her person. A rose on her right hand. A lion on her upper left arm. An octopus on her right thigh. A snake on her left side of her waist. A crown on her left shoulder blade. A skull on her right bicep. And a dragon on the back of her neck. And 7 certain males all would receive a mark in similar locations. A 8-pointed star. Izumi's POV. I did not know what would await me. I was too lost in my despair to think on the outcome. Nevertheless, the dark mirror called and I answered. Yes, this is how I became a part of and unintentionally conquer the villain's world. Twisted Wonderland. Chapter 2, Welcome to the Villain's World. One. Izumi stirred, and when she came to, all she could see was darkness. Where was she? And she noticed that she was also in a tight space. Then she heard a voice. Grr, this is shut tight. I'll have to use my special move. The next thing Izumi knew, fire hit the lid, causing it to come off. Ah! Fire! She screamed. But she was finally out. Looking around, she appeared to be in a place with coffins that seemed to be floating around. What is this place? The greenette questioned as she then turned her head to come face to face with, now to grab the goods. What? You ain't supposed to be awake. A floating, fire tanuki. Hey. I'm no tanuki, whatever that means. The name's Grim, and don't you forget it, because I'm gonna be the most powerful sorcerer in the world. Now, give me those clothes. Or else I'll roast you whole. Wah. Ah. Izumi yelled, dodging a blaze. In her panic, she noticed she was in a strange set of robes which looked expensive, and a hood covering her head. It was colored in purple and black with golden lace and embroidery. It gave off an air more similar to a ritual. I don't remember owning something like this. Did someone change me into this? Wait, was I kidnapped into a cult? She thought, but then the tanuki attacked her again. She ran around until she reached a library. And was surprised to see books floating. Is this from a quirk or something? But the strange tanuki found her. Foolish human. Did you really think you could slip away from me? Now, unless you want to get burned to a crisp, take off that. Suddenly, a WHP came out and stopped the tanuki. Meow. That hurt. What gives? Consider it tough love. Ah, I found you at last. Splendid. I trust you're one of this year's new students. Were you ever eager to make your debut? And bringing a poorly trained familiar with you. That is a clear violation of the school's rules. The person that saved Izumi was a strange-looking man. His face is concealed by a half-mask resembling a raven's beak. Through this mask, his eyes are occasionally seen glowing gold. He has pointed ears and short, wavy black hair. He also sports a greatcoat over his suit. Thick blackbird feathers curl out from its blue collar, while the tips of the coat are cut to resemble two bird wings. He wore black gloves on either hand, with golden claw rings over each of his fingers. 3 mirror-like accessories are attached to his hip, with 4 golden keys dangling from them. He wears another mirror-like charm on his hat, which has 3 more keys, making a total of 7. Wait. Familiar. Sir, he's not Izumi said before being interrupted. As if I'd serve some lowly human. Now let me go. Grim yelled. Yes, yes. Rebellious familiars always say that. Do be quiet for a bit, won't you? Dear me. Of all the students I've dealt with, you're the first with temerity enough to open their own gate and step out of it. Does the very notion of patience elude you? No matter. Your orientation has already begun. Let us return to the mirror chamber. The crow man said. Mirror chamber? Izumi asked. You awakened in a room full of gates, did you not? All of the students here at the campus arrived by passing through such gates. Although typically the students have restraint enough to wait until I open them before waking up. The man said. The Kafinso, they are gateways. The design is intended to symbolize a parting with your former world, and a rebirth into a new one. He said, catching Izumi's attention. Rebirth. Did I die or something? Was I reborn into this world? Her mind was running a mile. But now is not the time for such prattle. You've a student orientation to attend. Go on, now. Make haste. The man walked as they headed off. But sir, where am I and who are you? Izumi asked at last, making the man look at her while Grim struggled. Ichem. Have you not fully regained consciousness? The time-space teleportation must have addled your memories. Well, these things happen, I suppose. I shall explain it to you while we walk. Truly, my magnanimity is boundless. He said, although he was surprised that this new student had a higher voice. This is Night Raven College. It is an institution for students the world over who demonstrate a rare aptitude for magic. It is the most prestigious academy of its sort in all of Twisted Wonderland. And I am Dyer Crowley. Having been entrusted with its care by the chairman, I serve as head mage. Crowley explained. Twisted Wonderland. I never heard of that place. Is it a secret society? Or wait, an organization. Wait, magic. Izumi looked shocked. Only those who the Dark Mirror perceives as having a talent for magic are admitted to the college. Those who are selected are summoned to the campus through those gates, which can appear anywhere. A black carriage bearing one such gate should have come to meet you. Carriage, I did hear one, and I recall seeing a mirror in the forest back home. Izumi said with realization. That black carriage serves to receive a student chosen by the Dark Mirror. It too bears a gate that connects to this campus. And as you know, sending a carriage to meet someone on a special day is a time-honored tradition. Izumi looked a bit weirded out. And once she and Crowley got to the place, she saw other people in the same robes as her. But looking closer, they were males. Not one female to be found. In other words, Night Raven College is an all-male school. What did I get myself into? Izumi would have expected a lot of things, but to come to an all-boys school was crazy. After getting there, Crowley pushed her to the mirror where she had to state her name. Izumi Midoriya. The face in the mirror looked at her for a bit before speaking. This one's soul is unusual. That got everyone's attention. I do not detect magic in this one, but she has something that makes up for it. And her soul is a mysterious blend. Plenty of DSPLN, some persistence, lots of benevolence and mindfulness, tenacity as well, perseverance, and a hidden trace of elegance. Therefore, I can't decide which dorm to put her in. The mirror said. This got the room buzzing. The Dark Mirror is stumped. No way. This never happened before. Wait a minute, did the mirror say she and her? What? There shouldn't be a girl here. Crowley mumbled. This one is indeed a female. The Dark Mirror said. Sheepishly, Izumi removed her hood, revealing her face and shoulder-length forest green hair. Though some of her hair stuck out, it made her look more endearing. Whoa. She's a cutie. I wouldn't mind if she stuck around. How did a girl get selected? Suddenly, Grim managed to get out of his binds, and broke loose. But in the midst of the chaos, one fire attack went toward Izumi, and was about to hit her when a flash of light came up and something protected Izumi from the fire. It looked like an imposing knight, only his hands had two shields that had a pair of claws like a crab. And next to him was a smaller knight, only he had a large fancy water jar. Izumi noticed something shined against her chest. It was a necklace she had since she was little. It had two strange symbols on it. One was of the zodiac Cancer and the other was of Aquarius. Ah, I'll take care of the fire. The small knight said, floating and easily taking the jar up, as it used some kind of water ability to douse the flames. Meanwhile, the larger knight rushed in and caught Grim without a problem. Izumi blinked in surprise. Who were these two? She missed the discussion up to when Riddle put a strange collar on Grim's neck. Well, I appreciate subduing your rowdy dash, Crowley said before Izumi spoke. He's not mine. Just what I said. I never even met him up until now. Besides, I tried to tell you earlier but you did not listen. Izumi frowned. Ah, that's so. I'll have him taken away then. Crowley composed himself. As Grim shouted as he was taken away, Crowley turned to Izumi and looked at the two knights. Although, I thought the mirror said you didn't have magic. Then the Dark Mirror spoke. I said she was magicless, but not powerless. She had just awoken a power that Twisted Wonderland had not seen for centuries. Izumi blinked as more whispers came. She looked at her necklace. Was it from this? Then she looked to the two knights. And you are? Ah, sorry. I'm Syat, Knight of Aquarius. The smaller knight said. And I'm a Cubans, Knight of Cancer. We've tried to contact you for years. We act as your guardians. Guardians. Crowley spoke with the Dark Mirror and the latter was adamant that Izumi attend, even announcing to allow her to be the first female student. Only one problem. Since the mirror said he could not decide on a dorm, they needed to know where she would stay. Well, if possible, we can give Miss Midoriya the ramshackle dorm dash, Crowley said before being interrupted by the dorm leaders in anger that the room shook. What? What in the name of the Great Seven are you thinking, headmaster? One with glasses yelled. Having a woman live in a rundown dorm. That would not fly back home. A male with lion ears frowned. I'll have to agree with the lion. Do you have any idea how decrepit the place is now? A good strong wind will make it collapse. A pretty blonde glared. Unbelievable. I'm further surprised at how much of a cheapskate you are. A voice from the tablet muttered. Not only that, Ramshackle is said to be haunted. A white-haired boy adds. Crowley looked nervous at the males. No, you misunderstood. I'll have the old dorm repaired first. We just need to know where Miss Midoriya can stay for now. The boys looked skeptical at first, but Izumi spoke up. Ah, if I am to stay, could I at least have your names? She asked. Ah, sorry about. I'm Kalam Alisim, second-year prefect of Scarabia. The turban male smiled. Leona King Scholar, third-year prefect of Savannaclaw. The lion man said. Vil Skunheit, the third-year prefect of Pomfior, a pleasure to meet a young potato blossom. He have a charming smile. Ah, Idia Shroud, Ignihide third-year prefect. The tablet said nervously. I'm Riddle Rosehearts, second year and prefect of Heartslabel. The redhead bowed like a gentleman. Ah, Malleus may not be here, but I'm Lilia, vice prefect and third year of Diasomnia. The young-looking male smiled. Oh, I do hope to meet him soon. Izumi smiled before her hand was taken by the silver-haired Megane. My name's Azul Ashengrado, second-year prefect of Octavinel. It would be a pleasure to have you stay with us for a while. He kissed Izumi's hand, making her blush. Then Leona came over and snatched her out of Azul's space. That's what you think, you shady merchant. He frowned. She can stay in Scarabia. We can provide the hospitality she needs. HSH. What will she learn to do there? She won't be able to learn from you, considering your own grades. Her strength can be sharpened at Savannaclaw. This coming from an undignified lion. Your underlings will likely prey upon her. Her person is safer in Pomfior, where she can truly blossom, unlike the other potatoes. That is the most absurd thing I've heard. Heartslabial Rule number 141, a visiting maiden must be in house with a rose garden. I beg to differ, I don't believe she needs unnecessary DSPLN in a dorm where the rules don't make sense and create restrainment. Ah. What should I do? Invite her to Ignihide. Izumi was surprised at what she was hearing. Back home, she was looked down at for being quirkless. Everyone always praised Bakugo, and would compete to partner with him just for certain assignments. Now she was the one being fought over. Until a snap came. Now all you rowdy dogs stop. Izumi turned to see a man wearing a black and white fur coat. His hair is parted at the side, with the longer section colored white and the shorter section black. He has narrow gray eyes and wears silver studs in his ears. Beneath a thick, black and white furry coat, he wore a tuxedo, consisting of a black dress shirt, red tie, a black and white vest, black dress pants, black dress shoes, and a black belt with a silver buckle, studs, and spiky sections. He also has red gloves. Next thing Izumi knew, she was at a separate room in a house where the mystery man lived. He was named Divus Cruel, he was also a teacher at Night Raven College. Since it would be inappropriate for Izumi to be in a dorm surrounded by boys, she would stay with Cruel until Ramshackle was repaired. Ah, Cruel-san, thanks for letting me stay here for now. Although her gaze went back to her necklace. As it never did that before. It's no problem, little puppy. And I would not allow mongrels take advantage of a lady on her first day. It should take a week for the old dorm to be restored. He nods as they settled for the night. Izumi laid down looking at the necklace. She remembered that her father had this before his passing. She was still an infant when he died and her mom would say he was an angel. Did he know of Sayat or Akubans? Izumi yawned, tired. The thoughts can wait tomorrow. Chapter 3, Welcome to the Villain's World. 2. The next day, Izumi woke up to sunlight, seeing the start of another day. Thankfully, she got up just as Cruel was. "Ah, morning puppy. I see you got up early too." Izumi sheepishly fiddled as she sat down. "Yeah, I thought it would be nice to get a head start." Is there something I should know of? As I'm unfamiliar with this place." She clarified of her situation. "Really?" Cruel asked, surprised. "Yeah, we don't have magic where I come from, but we have quirks. Basically it's a superpower unique to each person." "Hm. It sounds similar to unique magic, without the magic part." Cruel muttered. "Well, you remember the dark mirror. It is a magical mirror that sorts the new students into one of the 7 dorms based on the nature of the student's soul and essence of their being. It can only sort students who possess magical powers. While it's possible to transfer dorms, it's a complicated process and requires a new ritual." 7 dorms. Yes. According to a legend in Twisted Wonderland, there once lived grand beings in this world collectively called the Great Seven. Each of the 7 dormitories at Night Raven College are modeled after one of these Great Seven, and upon entering the school, students are sorted into these dorms. They are Hearts label, based on the Queen of Hearts' spirit of strictness. The Queen of Hearts was a ruler and jurist of her domain, which was a maze-like garden of roses. She was a strict woman, prioritizing laws and order above everything. However, she also enjoyed tea parties and croquet. If any of her subjects broke a serious rule, their punishment would be decapitation. While no one dared to defy her, no strife happened in her kingdom, including war. It's known for its long list of rules that its students are expected to abide by. All members of Hearts Labial, apart from the current house warden, wear a marking on their face, shaped like one of the 4 playing card suits: heart, spade, diamond, or clover. These markings vary in size and location, but most of the Hearts Labial students have theirs over or underneath one eye. But how strictly they follow the rules differs on the leader. Before Rosehearts, the last prefect was lax about it. Savannahclaw, based on the King of Beasts' spirit of persistence. The King of Beasts ruled over the savannah, though he wasn't born into the throne. Instead, he worked hard to earn the position. Once king, he strived for equal treatment of all animals, even for the hyenas who were treated as outcasts. It is a dorm located in a deserted area alongside a Spelldrive stadium. Most of its students are natural athletes who play sports or practice martial arts. Needless to say, they are the jocks, and most of them are beast men. You can tell them apart from their animal ears. Octavinelle, based on the sea witch's spirit of benevolence. She lived in an underwater grotto and devoted her life to helping the less fortunate merfolk. She'd help them with anything, from changing their appearance to finding love, that is, if they were willing to pay the price for their wishes. It said that there were no wishes she couldn't grant. She's most famous for making a shape-shifting potion to give a mermaid human legs so she could be with the man she loved. Such potions are said to be rare even now. An underwater dorm and students from it are known for their intelligence. Most of them are really mermen from the ocean, but they use a special potion to have a human form. When not attending lessons, they run a campus cafe called Mostro Lounge. It is a restaurant in the Octavinelle dorm where all students of Night Raven College can come and relax. Azul is the founder and owner of the place after making a deal with Dyer Crowley. If a student doesn't purchase a drink, they'll be kicked out without hesitation. Scarabia, based on the sorcerer of the sand's spirit of mindfulness. He used to be an advisor of an incompetent sultan. He was smart and capable, who exposed a swindler that was pretending to be a prince and trying to trick the sultan's daughter. In the outcome, the sorcerer got a magic lamp and used its power to become sultan. Home to many thoughtful and intellectual students, noted for having a heated rivalry with Octagonale during written tests. The dorm emphasizes the importance of careful deliberation and planning, and its students tend to consider their options before making major decisions. They also excel in astrology and ancient incantations. Pomfiore based on the fairest queen's spirit of tenacity. She was said to be the most appealing of all across the land. She had a magic mirror she would ask every day who's the fairest of them all, and when it seemed like her position was threatened, she'd do anything to keep it. It's also said that she was an expert at making poisons, and had vast knowledge in astrology and alchemy. The oldest of the dorms, its students excel at potionology and curses, as well as cultivating a unique sense of style. To qualify for the position of Pomfiore House Warden, traditionally, a student must be able to make the most potent poison out of all their peers. They even have their own lab for potions. Ignihide based on the king of the underworld's spirit of diligence. While the other gods lounged about, he ruled over a kingdom full of rampant spirits all by himself. He was a forthright person who worked tirelessly, and his hard work earned the loyalty of Cerberus, the Hydra, and the Titans. It's also said that he had a temper, his hair turned red when he got mad. He also had a silver tongue, was skilled at small talk and good at negotiating. Its students specialize in non-magical technology, giving the dorm a distinctive atmosphere. The dorm is occupied by students who excel in tech-related fields, as well as magical energy engineers, focused on researching the integration of magic with the latest technology. Ignihide students tend to be quiet, serious, and not very outgoing. Honestly, not even I know much of them, and I teach half the students from there. Diasomnia based on the Thorn Fairy's spirit of nobility. She lived on a mythical mountain. She was noble and elegant, and even by the standards of the Great Seven she had powerful magic and curses. She was able to use magic on a large scale, she covered the kingdom with thorns and commanded storms. She could also transform into a dragon. The students there excel at magic and the curriculum across the board. Many graduates from there become prominent magicians. Cruel explained. Since this will be the first day, we will be doing a tour of the school for the freshmen. He finished making Izumi breathe in relief. Before they left, Izumi received her own uniform. The uniform consists of a dark gray jacket, a white shirt and a vest. Izumi noted that hers was a mint green with white buttons. She also had a black knee-length pleated skirt, and black tights with brown loafers. Freshman classes focus more on classroom-based learning rather than actually training their magic. Seniors are said to spend most of their final year off campus, receiving outside education. They don't return to campus until the cultural festival in February. Because of this, seniors are unable to participate in a majority of school events until their return. Every year, there are always a couple of dropouts or students who have to repeat a grade. However, there have been no such cases for Heartslabial after Rosehearts became the house warden of that dorm. But, you'll just need to focus on education first. Cruel said as they headed out. Izumi was a little nervous, but happy it was just a tour the first day. She figured later she could go to the library to get a head start too. Classes on the campus looked really interesting to Izumi. Aside from the basics like mathematics, science, music and art, there was a history of magic, astrology, and cooking class. Izumi didn't really know what she would get herself in, but her curriculum, considering her situation without her mother, consisted of magical potions, history of magic, physical education, mathematics, and encouraged by Cruel to take electives, she chose magic analysis, cooking class, and a study PRD. As it was a half-day, Izumi headed over the library first thing. Seeing as she can order 5 books per limit, she chose on basic potions which Cruel recommended, 2 history books, and a cookbook. Looking for one book, one caught her eye. It was a thick book with golden edges, and at the center was the zodiac circle. Izumi blinked as she took it, but her mind was made up. The librarian looked over the books but paused at the last one. Strange. I don't remember having this one. You mean it's not a library book? Izumi asked. The librarians shook their head, but said Izumi was free to keep it. Heading over to the cafeteria, Izumi chose to sit at a lone table to look over the Zodiac book. There was no title but the inside had a name. Orion Sattlerlight. Who was he? Was he the author? Izumi wondered. She started on the first page, but it was blank for some reason. But then words appeared. It was about Zodiac empowerment. Users become stronger, faster, more durable, etc. when they come in contact with Zodiac power signs, possibly unlocking abilities related to the affinity and enhancing the existing powers. Some users may be able to draw sustenance from Zodiac power signs or even slow or stop aging. Basic applications include condition augmentation, mental augmentation, physical augmentation, empowered state, self-power augmentation, self-power bestowal enhancement, calling potential enhancement, quality enhancement, skill enhancement, metabolization, replenishment, self-sustenance, mode switching, power mixture, power shifting, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute condition, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute body, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute agility, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute dexterity, peak human enhanced supernatural durability and vulnerability, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute endurance, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute health, peak human enhanced supernatural longevity immortality, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute reflexes, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute senses, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute speed, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute stamina, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute strength, regenerative healing factor, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute regeneration, peak human enhanced supernatural absolute mind. The 12 zodiacs each possess a different magic. The applications include, applications, Western, supernatural animal physiology, plus elemental animal, animaloid manifested guardian, for zodiacs that are symbolized by animals. However, for all some of the animal-related powers, the user is limited to only specific types of animals associated with their zodiac, superior human physiology, plus elemental human, prime superior human supernatural human physiology humanoid manifested guardian, for zodiacs that are symbolized by non-animals. Powerful objects, plus elemental object, objectoid manifested guardian, zodiac symbolized by objects. However, for all some of the object-related powers, the user is limited to only specific types of objects associated with their zodiac, constellation empowerment, cosmic empowerment, astrological empowerment to their respective planets, elemental manipulation, cosmic element manipulation, Greek deity, Roman deity, deities associated with a specific zodiac, magic, zodiac, mimicry. But even with these powers, each zodiac has its limitations. Most are limited to one zodiac. May be involuntary, at times. Size may be an issue. Takes time to control. May be limited to specific, most likely their own, zodiac sign. Izumi was amazed at this knowledge. Then she looked at her necklace. I wonder, she then thought of Aquarius and the words changed. Aquarius, the 11th sign of the zodiac. Aquarius is an air sign that spans from about January 20th to February. Aquarius is represented by the water bearer, a mystical healer who gives water, or life, to the land. People born under Aquarius are said to be unique, clever, creative, and forward-thinking. Aquarius' opposite sign is Leo. Aquarius, the constellation Aquarius is an equatorial constellation located between Capricornus and Pisces. Aquarius is one of the oldest constellations along the zodiac. The brightest star in Aquarius is Beta Aquarii. According to astrology, Aquarius's superpowers include mind control, technokinesis, and the ability to see the future. Mind-controlled Aquarians can use their creative minds to practice mentalism. They can visualize swaying opinions to feel their influence. Positive affirmations can help them feel more empowered. Technokinesis Aquarians can control and manipulate technology with their minds. They have little trouble interacting with mechanical and digital technologies. Future sight Aquarians can glimpse what lies ahead. They use knowledge of tomorrow to make groundbreaking changes today. Collective consciousness Aquarians can step out of the realm of the personal and see the world from a more objective and communal perspective. Other Aquarius strengths: innovation, independence, caring nature, learning, open-mindedness. Leadership, adaptability, uniqueness, communication, and loyalty. Aquarius is an air sign, and people born under this sign are known for being intellectuals, friendly, and well-liked. They are also known for being eccentric, original, and progressive thinkers. Then Izumi thought of Cubans. Cancer, the fourth sign of the zodiac, and is represented by the crab. People born between June 21st and July 22nd are Cancers. Personality traits: intuitive. Cancers are highly intuitive and have psychic abilities. Nurturing. Cancers are known for being nurturing and caring for others. Sensitive. Cancers are known for being sensitive and emotional. Protective. Cancers are natural protectors who will defend their loved ones. Creative. Cancers may enjoy knitting, sewing, and other crafty pursuits. Sentimental. Cancers are associated with sentimentality and an appreciation for life's simple pleasures. Symbolism. The crab represents Cancer's ability to exist in both emotional and material realms. The moon is Cancer's ruling planet, and is known for its ability to guide emotions and intuition. Cancer as a sign. Cancers are part of the water trigon, along with Pisces and Scorpio. Cancers are known for being complex, with a mix of vulnerability and strength. Cancers are known for being caring and providing material comfort to their loved ones. Cancer's superpower is telepathy, healing, or mind control, depending on the interpretation. Telepathy. Cancers are known for their intuitive and empathetic nature. They can sense what others are thinking or feeling, even without verbal cues. This ability helps them connect with others on a deep level. Healing. Cancers have a natural tendency to be there for others. They can heal others with a simple touch or soothing word. They can offer comfort and safety to all. Mind-controlled. Cancers are emotional, sensitive, and intuitive. They prefer to win an argument with as little disagreement as possible. With the power of mind control, they could make everyone agree with them. Other Cancer superpowers: induction baking, inducing guilt, and emotional healing. Cancer is a water sign, ruled by the moon. Cancers are known for being nurturing and protective. They thrive on emotional connection and stability. Izumi was surprised on this information and was about to think on something else, but in her reading, she never noticed two Heart's-Labial students having an argument and somehow caused a chandelier to fall, and it was right above Izumi. And it would have hurt too if Cubans did not appear in time to catch the chandelier before it could harm Izumi or be destroyed, to everyone's surprise. The headmaster heard there was a disturbance, and some students told him the two Heart's-Labial students almost caused a chandelier to fall on Izumi, but her Cancer familiar stopped it. Even the ghosts agreed. My goodness, I can imagine the bad rep that would befall the school if our first female student was harmed on the first day. Are you alright, Miss Midoriya? Crowley asked. Yeah, that was close. Thanks, Cubans. Could you help the ghosts put the chandelier back? Izumi asked as her new familiar nodded. Crowley then took the two boys to his office for a chat. Whoa. You alright, Izumi? That was too close. Colum ran over to her. He was accompanied by another tan male with long dark hair. Alice-senpai. I'm alright. She smiled, then a floating being came to her. He looked like a robot with flaming blue hair. Scanning for possible injuries, nothing internal or external. Other than a slight adrenaline rush, nothing serious. He sighed in relief. Ah, I don't think we've met. Oh, I'm Othro, resident of Ignihide, my brother is the prefect. He said with a cheery voice. Mon Dieu, j'ai presque eu un crise cardiaque, ma chère. A blonde male with a bob cut and large hat said with a dramatic flair. Ha! Izumi blinked at him as he took her hand. My apologies, my dear, I'm Rook Hunt, third year and vice prefect of Pomfior. He winked. Oh, Izumi Midoriya. Nice to meet you. She said as Cubans came down. The chandelier is back in place, all secure. Thanks. Incroyable. Never thought such an imposing familiar existed. Rook praised a Cubans before the latter vanished. At other tables nearby, other people watched in interest. So the herbivore isn't so defenseless after all. An interesting sight, isn't it, Floyd? Yeah. I thought she would be splat. This year might be interesting after all. After that mess, Izumi spotted the two boys looking a bit distressed. Being as soft as she is, she walked over to check on them. Are you alright? She got their attention. Hey, you're the girl we almost crushed. The redhead said. I'm Izumi Midoriya. Is something wrong? Apparently, they were tasked by the headmaster to get a magic crystal from the abandoned dwarf's mine before sundown, but hey. She said, getting their attention. Do you mind if I help? She offered, catching the boys off guard. Why was she helping them when they nearly got her injured or worse? Why are you offering to help? I mean, you could have gotten killed because of our fight, the dark blue-haired student with a spade said in guilt. Because I want to. Plus I felt it would be unfair, so let's get going to the mine. Izumi smiled. The boys, although unsure, let her tag along. Oh right, I didn't get your names. Ace Trapola, first year, Hearts Labial. I'm Deuce Spade, also Hearts Labial freshman. Thank you for helping. He said more gratefully. Then Izumi spotted something in the bushes. Sure enough, it was the strange creature Grim. Hey, I thought they kicked him out. Ace said. How did you get back into the campus? And why did you want to be in the school so bad anyway? Izumi asked. Heh. Getting into the campus is easy for someone like me. Plus, I'm destined to be the greatest magician ever. I waited for the black carriage to get me, but anyway, the dark mirror does not know talent when it sees it. Grim said in a huff. Izumi thought it over and smiled. How about you help us find a mage stone? Ace and Deuce need it to avoid expulsion. If you do, maybe they will let you in. Grim perked. Really? The boys looked skeptical, but Izumi convinced him. Now the group of four was heading for the dwarf's mine. Chapter 4, Welcome to the Villain's World, finale. With some travel through the magic mirror, Izumi, Grim, Ace, and Deuce found themselves at an old cottage. Hey, I heard of this place. The dwarfs used to live here at one point until some time ago, they left for some reason. Deuce said. If that's their cottage, we're on the right trail. Ace said as they continued on to the mine. But something caught Izumi's eye. It looked to be a charm, similar to Sayat and Akuban's charms, only it looked to be an arrow. An arrow. Which constellation is that again? Izumi thought, but she had to regroup with the others. Finally, they made it to the mine. So what exactly are we looking for? What does the crystal look like? Izumi asked. The headmaster said the stone is multicolored and bright, so it should be easy to spot. Deuce explained. As they progress into the mine, Grim spotted something glittering. Hey, that over there. Is that what we are looking for? He asked. The object was a glittering multicolored stone. Yeah. That's it. Ace cheered as he went to grab it. Leave, huh? Did you guys say anything? Grim asked as everyone replied, no. Then a roar erupted in the cave and they saw a strange monster. It looked to be in a red worker outfit, with something that looked like ink for a body. Its head was even an ink bottle. What is that? Deuce exclaimed in shock. You tell me. Ace panicked. As the monster was about to strike them, Izumi's necklace glowed as Akuban's came out and blocked the attack. Another glow came from the charm Izumi found. This knight, however, looked like a centaur, even having a bow and arrow. Cause, it's been a while, brother. Akuban said. Indeed. But even with my strength, it won't be enough to take him down. Cause said. He looked to Izumi. It may be early, but we have the pieces. We must summon Preceep. Preceep? Izumi asked as the boys were further shocked as the two new arrivals fended off the monster. Use the Zodiac Grimoire, and summon him. Izumi realized he meant the white book she found. Thinking of Preceep's name, the text appeared. There was also a language the boys could not identify, but Izumi could. Although she spoke English, it sounded like a different language to them. O Gitachan Neem, Irik, Preceep. Both Akubans and Kaz became two stars, then combining into a new being. He was a knight decked in white and gold armor, with parts resembling a honeycomb. Preceep, fight that beast. Izumi yelled as the knight attacked. The strange creature was no match for the knight, and the beast was taken down with a beehive starstrike. Wow, unbelievable. Yay. Izumi did it. She defeated that monster. Grim cheered, but then he caught a whiff of something, and found a black stone and actually ate it. Delicious. Grim said. It's like flowers in my mouth, rich and full-bodied too. I guess monsters have different tastes than humans do, Ace said. Anyway, that creature is beaten. Let's get that crystal and return to the headmaster. Deuce said as they only had an hour left before sundown. Izumi nodded, then looked to Preceep. Thank you, Preceep. It was an honor. We'll meet again, he said before fading. The group arrived at the headmaster office with the magic stone in hand. Crowley. Here's your stone, she said, catching Crowley off guard. And she saw Cruel was there too. Puppy. I was wondering where you were. Wait, a mage stone. Pardon. You're telling me you actually went to the dwarf's mine in search of a mage stone? Wait, Miss Izumi, you helped them get the stone? Crowley asked. Deuce, Ace, and Grim stared. Yes. Crowley was still shocked. I didn't expect that you'd seriously do it. And never in my wildest imaginings did I think you would actually return with a mage stone. And here I spent all evening preparing Ace and Deuce's expulsion documents. Wait, the beast from orientation, what is it doing here? He yelled. You noticed now? Cruel asked. Hey, you should be grateful. I was helping them get that stone. Besides, while we were fighting some crazy monster for you, you were expelling them. Grim said, appalled. Monster? Yeah. There was a monster, all right. A big, nasty one. It nearly killed us. Ace said as the rest of the group described what happened. So a mysterious monster was living in the mines. And Izumi triggered some power to destroy it, and then brought its magestone back to me. And Izumi, you and Grim decided to willingly help them work together. I don't know that I'd call it working together. Ace said. Deuce agreed. It was more like we just happened to share the same goal at the same time. I was kinda dragged into it, but she said I might be awarded if I helped. Grim shrugged. Suddenly, oh, gracious, oh. Sobbing, Fnya. What is this guy's deal? Burst into tears in public. At his age? Grim asked. Goodness, Crowley. Cruel rolled his eyes. Crowley wept. In all the decades I've worked at this school, I never imagined for students of Night Raven College have joined hands together to defeat a common foe. Deuce balked. Whoa. No. No way would I join hands with that guy. Ace added. Okay, 1, there was no joining of hands. Gross. And 2, exactly how old are you, head mage? At this moment, I am moved beyond words. I guess the Dark Mirror was not wrong after all. My students have all been selected by the Dark Mirror for their exceptional talent and potential. But great talent begets great pride and big egos. Most are so self-reliant and self-centered that they never even consider cooperating with others. Crowley explained as he looked at Izumi. Grim grumbled. Wow, he really bad-mouthed those two, but although you have no magic, you were able to summon strange otherworldly beings and convince those who can use magic to work together for a common goal. For once I agree. Most avowed students let their egos get in the way, and dogs that end up too independent will have it coming. Cruel said. I feel somewhat offended. Ace whispered. Either way, I also have to honor an agreement. Trapola, Spade, I hereby revoke your pending expulsions. Crowley said as Deuce and Ace sighed in relief. In the fur ball's case, we could have him as a student, but he'll need supervision. Cruel adds. I can do that. If it's okay with the headmaster. Izumi said and Crowley agreed as Grimm cheered. Oh. Before I forget. I just so happen to have a gift for you. This is called a ghost camera. Crowley said taking an old-fashioned camera out. Ghost camera. Ace perked up. Ooh, my grandma's told me about those. Those are, like, super old magic items, right? Crowley rebuked. I would hardly consider them super old, ahem. But it may indeed have been invented when your great or great-great-grandmother was a child. It's a camera enchanted with a special kind of magic. It enables the user to photograph not just the subject's physical form, but parts of their soul itself. Wait, that sounds sketchy. Deuce said. They're called memories. Here's the thing, when the soul bond between photographer and subject deepens, the memories captured in this magic camera's photos come jumping out. Crowley clarified. Soul bond? Izumi asked. When the photographer and subject grow closer, their photographs grow animated like videos and sometimes the photographs take on corporeal form and slip out. Is that not what you youths would call wicked keen? Crowley asked. Deuce remarked, that almost sounds like ghost photography. Very astute. Hence the name, ghost camera. I understand it was developed as a more vivid way to capture moments in time, in an age before video. As Spade observed, in days of yore, when people saw memories jumping out of photos, they would get spooked and yell, ghost. I've heard many a tale of people who were deathly scared of being photographed by such cameras. Crowley explained further. Ace frowned. This tech sounds like way more trouble than it's worth. Izumi, if it is not too much trouble, I would like you to photograph Grimm and the other students with this camera, and make a record of your campus life. Crowley requested. Grimm smiled at that. Maya Haiche. Sounds like the perfect way to immortalize all my finest moments. Ahem, make especially certain to capture the mischief caused by certain students who struggle with impulse control. Keeping a photographic journal sounds far less tedious than writing me lengthy reports, wouldn't you agree? As a prefect, consider it your duty to maintain a sharp eye on your surroundings and record them. Note how generous I'm being in providing a rare magical item that even someone like yourself can use. Is my kindness not beyond all reckoning? Crowley rambled as Cruel rolled his eyes. Thank you, sir. I'll do my best. Izumi smiled. The hour has grown late, so further details shall have to wait till the morrow. You are all dismissed. Return to your dorms. Crowley smiled. Good night, sir. Deuce said as the group left. Cruel told her he'll get back in a bit as he had to finish up work, as Izumi still had to stay with him for a while. And considering Grimm, he has to stay with them too. Deuce breathed a huge sigh of relief. Phew, we managed to avoid expulsion. That was a close one. Ace agreed. Yeah, no kidding. Heh, enjoy it while you can. I'm gonna be the top mage on campus in no time. Enjoy eating my dust, boys. Grimm bragged. Ace smirked. Big words for a sentient pile of lint who's literally only half a student. Still good for you. Deuce smiled. I guess we're schoolmates now. Grimm, Izumi, welcome to Night Raven. Okay, seriously, can we quit it with that stuff? Ace asked. Deuce refuted. Heh. We'll be seeing each other all the time now. We'll see what a pleasure that turns out to be. Especially you, Ace, since we're in the same dorm. Ace argued back. Yeah, can't say I'm jazzed to see your smug, self-important scowl every day. Deuce remarked, the way you squared off against that monster even when you didn't have a bit of magic showed a whole lot of guts. With steel nerves like that, you'll be fine. Even in this school. Say, what's the deal with you sometimes talking like a punk, anyway? Ace asked. Deuce looked surprised. Huh. Do I? I think I talk pretty normal. Whatever. Let's just get back to the dorm. After nearly getting expelled, the last thing we need is a curfew violation. Ace said. We're from Hartslabial House, by the way. What dorm are you guys in? Deuce asked. Well, we are to be in Ramshackle dorm, but it's getting fixed. We'll be able to live there in a week. Izumi explained. Although they told me ghosts also live there. Hey, I'd rather deal with ghosts than have to see this guy's smug, self-important scowl every day. Ace rolled his eyes. Better than your lazy, dopey grin. Deuce rebuffed. Keep bawling, crybaby. I haven't forgotten how you almost wept when he said you were expelled. Catch you later. Ace waved as he and Deuce left. Heh, they seem to argue so much 'cause they're close. Anyway, let's some rest. Tomorrow we start our glorious education as students of Night Raven College. Grim cheered. Izumi smiled as they headed back. The next day, after school that is, Izumi looked over her notes in study PRD as she and Grim sat under a tree. Phew, I never thought school would be so tough. Grim said. When do we get to do fancy magic? We don't get to the hard stuff until second year apparently. Freshmen have to do basics. Izumi said looking at her book. Why basics? I'm experienced enough already. Grim shrugged. Back home, quirks had to be stringently regulated. Only those with a hero license can use them to protect people. But they also have to be careful because some have powers that can be dangerous. One like 13. Her quirk is Black Hole. Basically, she can SCK up anything and turn it into dust, and although she uses it for rescue work, she could easily kill someone if she's not careful. Izumi explained, making Grim pale. It's the same reason we have to know the basics, so we don't end up injuring someone, or worse. And that would not be good for a great magician. Izumi finishes. Oh, I see. Grim nods quickly. Then he notices the book Izumi opens. She thought of Cause and his symbol came up. Sagittarius, a zodiac sign. The constellation is located in the southern hemisphere, and the zodiac sign is associated with people born between November 22nd and December. Constellation Sagittarius is often depicted as an archer centaur, a mythical creature that is half man and half horse. The brightest star in Sagittarius is Cause Australis, an orange giant. The constellation is located between Scorpius and Ophiuchus to the west and Capricornus and Microscopium to the east. The center of the Milky Way lies in the westernmost part of Sagittarius. Zodiac sign Sagittarius is represented by the symbol of a bow and arrow. People born under the sign of Sagittarius are said to be natural explorers, curious, and energetic. They are also said to have a natural instinct for understanding the needs and fears of animals. They may be well suited for careers in veterinary work, farming, or gardening. Mythology. In Greek mythology, Sagittarius is associated with the centaur Chiron, who mentored Achilles in archery. According to astrology, Sagittarius superpowers include flight and teleportation. These powers reflect Sagittarius' adventurous spirit and love of freedom. Explanation: Flight. Sagittarius' wings of freedom allow them to travel wherever they want, embracing life's possibilities and uncovering the world's secrets. Teleportation. Sagittarius' longing for exploration and boundless energy could be reflected by the ability to teleport. Other Sagittarius traits. Sagittarius is a fire sign, along with Aries and Leo. Fire signs are known for their passion, boldness, energy, enthusiasm, courage, and a zest for life. Sagittarius is also known for its adventurous spirit, love for freedom, and philosophical insights. Sagittarius' superhero counterpart, the Asgardian god Thor, could be a superhero counterpart for Sagittarius. Both Sagittarius and Thor have a thirst for discovery, humor, and a powerful presence. Sagittarius Power Chakra. The power chakra for Sagittarius natives is solar plexus chakra or Muladhara chakra. Wow! Cuz can be pretty useful if I'm in a rush. Izumi smiled. You can read that. It looked more like gibberish to me. Grimm said as he looked at the book. Huh. I'm reading in English. Izumi said. Well, it was written in another language to me. The cat said. Izumi was surprised but continued to read. Precept, Latin name for the beehive cluster, an open star cluster in the constellation Cancer. It's also known by the catalog numbers NGC 2632 and M. Appearance visible to the naked eye as a small, fuzzy patch of light, appears as a small nebula on a clear night, can be seen with binoculars under a moderately light-polluted sky. Location about 600 light-years away from Earth, one of the closest open clusters to Earth history. Galileo was the first to distinguish Precept as a group of stars. Hipparchus included it in the earliest known star catalog around 129 BC. The name Precept comes from the Latin word precept, which means crib or manger. Other names: beehive cluster. Observability: the must-see cosmic object easy to see with the naked eye from a dark sky site. Additionally, Precept, or Sekishiki, is also the name of an ability that allows the user to see and interact with disembodied souls in ways that are impossible to most humans. Whoa! That would be cool. Grimm said. Izumi agreed as the day went by. A week later, Izumi had gotten a call about her new dorm. Ramshackle was renovated and now livable. Unlike the other dorms which can only be accessed through the mirror chamber, Ramshackle dorm is located within the school's grounds, near the main building. It had an antique look as if it was from the Victorian era with different shades of green and brown, but Izumi liked it. Unknown to her, she would soon have her life changed forever. Chapter 5, Heart's Labial Arc 1, Midnight Hanging and Diamonds. One night as Izumi and Grimm slept, Izumi began having a strange dream. She found herself in a garden, a rose maze to be precise. And she saw cards, living cards. Painting white roses in a red color. Hurry and paint the roses red. One card said. If we don't hurry, the flowers will wilt. Another said. Hurry, hurry. There are still some that aren't painted. An ace of clubs said. Wait, painting the roses. Izumi wondered. Then she saw a girl coming by, curious. Wait, is that? Izumi wondered. Why are you painting the white roses red? The girl asked, making the card stop and look at her. Ha! The two of clubs answered her question. Why, you ask? Well, to tell you the truth, we made a mistake and accidentally planted white roses. The ace of clubs continues. The queen loves red, so if she sees white, then it's off with our heads. Goodness! Is that so? The girl said in shock. Yes, it is. That's exactly why we're painting them red. The three of clubs nodded. And the dream ended. Wait, I remember. That was from Alice in Wonderland. One of pre-Quirk movies. But why was I dreaming about that? Izumi thought. Location, Ramshackle dorm. Then Izumi heard the door knock. MMGH, hey, Izumi. Someone's at the door. Grimm said as they heard the door, louder this time. What? Is it the ghosts? They sure don't know when to give up, Yano. Grimm said, half asleep, as the girl got up, took Grimm in her arms and walked to the foyer. She was in a white flowy nightgown with ruffles at the chest that Cruel got for her, seeing as she had no other clothes. He even got her some casual clothes, and extra pairs of her uniform too. Location, Ramshackle dorm, foyer. Hello, who is it? The greenette asked. It's me, Ace. Can you let me in for a bit? Ace. Why is he here at this hour? Grim asked, only to be fully awakened when he saw a peculiar collar. Gay. What's with the collar? Ace had a collar. Riddle's collar. Geez. I'm never returning to Hartslabial. I'm gonna be a member of this dorm from here on. Ace shouted out of the blue. Izumi and Grim were flabbergasted. What? Izumi decided to change the subject a bit. Should we move over to the lounge? I suppose you want to tell us what happened. Back in the lounge, Izumi and Ace sat down on the couch. That collar's the same kind as the one that red-haired upperclassman put on me during the opening ceremony. Why were you wearing that? Grim asked. I ate a tart. Ace simply said. Huh. That's it. Izumi asked as Ace explained what happened. Apparently he was in violation of eating a tart without Riddle's permission. You've only got yourself to blame. The ramshackle residents said together. But ain't it overreacting to seal my magic just 'cause I ate his tart? It's practically the same as tying my hands and my feet. Plus, there were 3 whole ones. He can't possibly finish all of those. There's a limit to how heartless he can be. Ace complained. Maybe it was over the top, but if there were 3 tarts, maybe they were for something. Izumi suggested. Yeah, that's a good point. Like for someone's birthday. Man, I'm such a great detective, huh? Grim suggested. Birthday? Ace asked. Actually, it could have been for the unbirthday party. Izumi clarified. Unbirthday party? Ace questions. It's a tradition in the kingdom where the Queen of Hearts rules. Basically it's a party when it's no one's birthday. Even the Queen of Hearts loves the event. As a student of that dorm, you should have known about it. Izumi explained. I came here thinking that you'd agree with me about the prefect being a little tyrant. Ace said, a little embarrassing. Maybe, but eating someone else's food is not good, you know. Grim frowned. I'm sure he'll forgive you if you apologize. Izumi nodded with a smile. Sighs, I get it. I just have to apologize, right? But since you suggested it, I need support. Ace sighs. Of course. Izumi nodded. In the meantime, where can I sleep? Ace scratched his head. You're serious about staying the night? Grim asked. The other bedrooms are available since they were cleaned them earlier. Izumi suggested. She led Ace to the room next to hers. If you need anything, I'll be next door. Sure. Thanks. Ace nodded. The next morning, Ace found Izumi was already awake and making breakfast. Grim was still sleepy, but he woke up too as he could not resist the delicious smell of food. Izumi was making banana and chocolate scones, cinnamon buns, and strawberry cream crepes. When Ace was about to say something, there was a knock at the door. Who the hell's pounding on the door so early in the morning? Ace said as he left to get the door. It was Deuce. I knew I'd find you here. Deuce said. Deuce, I heard what happened from our dorm mates. You ate the prefect's tart, so now you've got that collar on, haven't you? He frowned as Ace nodded his head. You're an outright idiot. Deuce said bluntly. Shut it. I don't want to hear that from you. So is the prefect still mad at me? Ace asked, looking nervous. Not completely. He's in an irritated mood and about 3 people who didn't follow the waking up routine. They suffered the same fate as you. Deuce said. Not completely, my butt. He's totally mad. Ace yelled. Hey boys, you want breakfast? I just made some. Izumi smiled. All right. Food. Grim cheered. They soon headed off for Hartslabial, that is after Izumi made lunch for them later. Izumi found it bizarre that the people here traveled through mirrors. It amazed her and she wondered if there were any quirks similar to this, as most warping quirks were rare. Then they were at Heart's Labial. Whoa! This is super fancy. It's completely different from our dorm. Grim said in amazement of the appealing dorm. Everywhere you looked there was red, anywhere the dorm building was red, even the flowers were red. I can't deny that. Izumi shrugged. Oh, no. I gotta hurry and paint these roses red. The group heard a voice. Oh, someone's over there. Grim pointed out, gaining attention of the guy. The individual had orange hair, the front which was tied back in a ponytail, green eyes, and had a red diamond on one of his cheeks. Whoa there, if there are some left unpainted, it's off with my head. I feel like I've seen this scenery somewhere, Izumi thought as she sees the orangeette man painting roses. Ichem. Did you guys need something? He asked. What are you doing? Ace asked him. This. As you can see, I'm painting the roses red. The orange-haired male said. Why do such a thing? Deuce asked in confusion. Your reactions are so fresh, it's kinda cute. The orange-haired male said in a teasing voice as he looked at the group. Hey, I know you. You two almost destroyed the chandelier in the cafeteria. ACH. Deuce flinched. We'll hear about it until we graduate, Ace lamented. Ah, and you're the super sinful kid who stole the prefect's tart. I'm so lucky to meet the rumored freshies so early in the morning, he said gleefully as he addressed Ace. Then the orangeette spots Izumi and smiles. Oh, you're that new female student housing in the ramshackle dorm. Can't believe I'm meeting you. I'm Kater Diamond, a third year. That makes me your senior, call me Kater Kuan, okay. Kate's fine, too, he said, taking Izumi's hand and kissing it, making her flustered. Grim twitched and swiped at Kater's hand. That's a little too friendly, bub. Oh, I shouldn't be standing here and talking. The party's the day after tomorrow. It's off with my head if I'm late. Kater said to himself. Then he turned to the freshman and looked like he had an idea. Hey, freshies, can you help me with painting the flowers? He asked nicely. Why were you doing something so strange? Deuce asked. Aside from coloring the roses, I'm really busy because I'm also in charge of coloring the flamingos for the croquet match, Kater explained. So, the tarts that Ace ate were to be used for the prefect's birthday party. I see now. So that's why he was so mad, Deuce theorized. What? That's not it. Kater said, taking them by surprise, but he explained. It's no one's birthday. But you're half right about the tart. You see, the day after tomorrow is our dorm's legendary unbirthday party. It's a special tea party that the prefect felt like doing, so he chose a day that doesn't fall on anyone's birthday. Yeah, Izumi mentioned it earlier. Ace clarified. In any case, the reasons can wait. You just have to help me paint the roses. Deuce-chan and Grim-chan can use magic, right? Ace-chan and Izumi can't use magic, so here's a paintbrush, Kater said as he got them to the bushes. Change the colors with magic, you mean? Deuce said. I haven't done anything like that before, Yano. Grim said nervously. But Izumi took a paintbrush and decided to get to work. And she was doing better than the others. Why can't the roses stay white? They're pretty enough. Ace wondered. This is all part of our dorm's tradition. The roses for the unbirthday party should be red. And it's been decided that the bat for the croquet match is a 7-colored flamingo, and the ball will be hedgehogs. Oh, but for the flower concert during spring, the roses should be white. This is all important, so remember them, Kater said, as simple as that. Nothing but weird rules. Grim said. Well, those are rules decided by the Queen of Hearts, one of the Great Seven, after all. Prefect Riddlecoin's a pretty straight-laced prefect who protects the Queen's rules to AT, got it. Well, I do admit he goes overboard sometimes, Kater said as he trailed off, but Izumi heard the last part. Something sounds off. Wait, what time is it? Oh man. We only have 20 minutes before class starts. We're gonna be late if we stay here. Deuce said as the group realized they lost track of time. Well, guess you can apologize to Riddle later, AC. By the way, have you brought some tarts to make up for what you took? Kater asked. I came straight here, so I got nothing, Ace admitted. Oh, man, is it so? Then, since rule number 53 of the Queen of Hearts states that, you have to replace things that you stole. Till then, I can't let you back in the dorm. Kater expressed with fake sadness. Ha! What the heck? You have to follow the rules if you're staying in this dorm. I really wish I could help, but, if I let it slide, then it's off with my head, too, Kater explained. Guys, we have to get to class or we'll be late. We'll deal with this after school's over. Izumi said, getting Kazu's charm. Kaz, get us to the school entrance. She yelled as she, Ace, Deuce, and Grim teleported. Kater blinked as it happened. But he smiled. Izumi is really a cutie. Back in Riddle's dorm, he looked on one of his hands in confusion. It had an 8-pointed star, and he was certain it wasn't a tattoo. Chapter 6, Hearts Labial Arc 2, Clovers and Roses. The day passed by with Izumi keeping Grim up. Though he was peeved when Lucius, Train's familiar, would sit on her lap. Yeah. It's finally lunch time. I see a lot of delicious stuff already. Grim said as he looked at the spread of food in the cafeteria. It's kinda high class seeing a buffet here. And many of the boys are just spending cash like nothing. Are they all wealthy? Izumi thought as she got the lunch she made. La, can't wait to eat my bento. Grim said, carrying his bento looking for a seat. But then he bumped into a Hearts Labial student. Hey, you BSTRD. My pasta's soft-boiled egg is on the floor, 'cause you bumped into me. He yelled as he was with another Hearts Labial student. Oh, man, the soft-boiled egg's the best part of carbonara. How are you gonna pay for that, huh, punk? The second Hearts Labial student said, glaring at Grim. Guess I'll just have to make do with you giving me that bento you've got there. The first Hearts Labial student said. What dash? I don't wanna. This mine. Grim exclaimed, holding his bento close. Is that how a senior acts toward their juniors and freshmen? Izumi said. The two students turned to Izumi and they liked what they were seeing from her figure. Hey, why are you wasting time with these 2-bit rookies? Yeah, why not hang out with us for a while? They smirked as Izumi was shocked. Ace and Deuce looked like they wanted to throw some fists, and Grim didn't like the way they were looking at Izumi like a piece of meat. But a Cubans appeared and his imposing height made the boys run off. Heh. All bark and no bite. Serves them right. Grim commented as a Cubans vanished. In any case, let's eat. Ace remarked. Izumi even made them some lunch, bringing out boxes. There was Sapporo ramen, citrus-glazed spicy chicken, spaghetti bolognese, and pepperoni and cheese croissants. Dessert was mango cheesecake accompanied by watermelon juice. Wow! This is delicious. Ace smiled. Wish our food in Hearts Labial was more like this. I really like the pizza croissants. Deuce adds. Grim was in heaven with each bite. Man, a guy would want to marry you in a heartbeat. Ace joked as Izumi paused. I would not know. I've never been asked out before. She admitted. Really? If so, then they must have a problem. Kater said as he appeared put of nowhere, taking a bite of the spicy chicken. Ugh. You're the dude from this morning. Ace said in surprise, he's the guy who tricked us into painting the roses red. Grim accused the third year. His name is Cater. Izumi pointed out. Ah, thank you for remembering Zumi. I didn't trick you, you know. It's not like I wanted to do that either. I only did it, 'cause it's the dorm's rules. Cater defended. You looked so happy about it though. Deuce pointed out with a frown. There, Deucey, the rules don't matter outside the dorm, so, Kate here is just your very gentle senior, Cater said cheerfully. Please stop calling me that, senpai. Deuce said embarrassed. Haha. That's how Cater expresses his affection, you know. A new voice popped up approaching the group, and they turned their heads to see another Heartslabial student with green hair, glasses, and a club mark on his left cheek. Wait, who are you? Ace asked. Oops, my bad. My name's Trey Clover. I'm a Heartslabial third year alongside Cater. Trey introduced himself and spotted Izumi. And you must be Izumi Midoriya. I've heard about you from Cater. Sorry for the trouble our dorm mates caused you the other day. Why, he's just casually sitting next to me, Ace said stupefied. Come on, we're in the same school so we should get along, give me your number. Cater said to the freshman. I don't have a phone, Izumi said sheepishly. Seriously? Wow, I heard of Luddites, but you're the first I've met. Well, why don't we go phone shopping sometime, like a date? Cater, you may want to back off a bit. Trey said. Cater smiled. So, you guys were asking about the dorms. Well, we will tell you everything. I want to know about our dorm first and foremost. What the heck is that rule #something of the Queen of Hearts? Ace asked, wanting know the deal. About the rules. I'm sure you're all familiar with the legendary Queen of Hearts, right? Trey asked as the freshmen nodded their heads at this. Trey continued, in order to establish absolute law and order, she made severe rules in order to oppress the eccentric citizens of Wonderland. And out of respect for the Queen of Hearts, our Heartslabial dorm wore red and black in order to represent the dress she wore. And it's part of our traditions to adhere to the Queen of Hearts rules. Cater added, really? Izumi asked. Adhering to the rules is the present prefect's whims. The previous one was kinda chill about it, Cater summarized. Compared to the other prefects, Riddle is just a little bit more serious. That's why he's trying so hard to keep the traditions. Trey explained. Ugh, how annoying, Ace grumbled. Hey, what kinda places are the other dorms? Grim asked as he ate. Just like Cater said a while ago, this school has 7 dorms dedicated to the Great Seven. First, we have our dorm that's grounded on following the Queen of Hearts laws with our entire being, Heartslabial dorm. Then, there's Savannahclaw that's grounded on the fortitude of the King of Beasts. After that, we have Octavanel that was founded on the Sea Witch's benevolence. And then we have Scarabia that was formed from the careful planning of the Sorcerer of the Desert. Pomfior, the house grounded on the magnanimous efforts of the appealing Queen. Then there's Ignihide, whose foundations lie on the perseverance of the King of the Underworld. Lastly we have Diasomnia that was founded on the gracefulness of the Queen of Thorns. Trey explained. All of their names are friggin' long. I can't remember all of that. Grim exclaimed. Ahaha. That's completely okay, you'll remember them even if you don't want to, Cater laughed. When a student is admitted here, the Mirror of Darkness decides what dorm you'll belong to after looking into your soul. I guess you could say that the dorms really reflect the student's character. If that was the case, why are these guys so lax compared to the Queen of Hearts? The Greenette wondered. That's true with some students here. I totally get it, Cater said. Character. Deuce asked, for example, look over there. He pointed to a brawny male with white hair and wolf ears. That jacket, he's from Savannahclaw, right? Izumi asked. Correct. They look like a dorm that's got a lot of athletes and guys that re good at scuffles. They're pretty brawny. Or I guess you could say, they're all pretty buff. Either way, Savannahclaw's colors are yellow and black. Cater said. Oh, and the guy with the purple, gray armband, he's from Octagon L, right? Grim asked, pointing to Azul. Correct, Grim. The two sitting on the table beside him with the dark red and gold colors are from Scarabia. Trey said. It's been said that both are dorms full of smart people. When it comes to written tests, nothing can beat those two. Ah, but Scarabia's prefects only SOSO when it comes to studying, Cater informed them. Alright, I sense a red flag there. Ace sat up straight. You adapt pretty quickly, huh? Going back to the topic, those bright and sparkling ones over there are from Pomfior. Their colors are purple and red. They also value beauty above all else according to the appealing queen. But they are the best at potions. Trey said, pointing out the two members at another table. I heard of that. They even have their own lab. Izumi said. Ahaha, that's right then, there's Ignihide, and they wear blue and black, but I don't see them around anywhere. Cater said, looking around. The students from that dorm are all sorta private, so I don't have friends there either. I guess you could call them the complete opposite of Heartslabial. Cater trailed off. You mean, they're non-social or something? Grim asked. Hey, now. Don't be rude. Though, it's true that they all seem pretty behaved and quiet. Cater said. They've got a lot of members who have great magical energy and they're pretty techy, too. Trey added. Then there's Diasomnia dorm, correct? Izumi asked. Right. Diasomnia is there. The guys who are sitting by the cafeteria's exclusive tables. Their colors are light green and black. They're kinda, how do I put it? Super popular. They've got an aura that makes it hard for us commoners to approach them. Cater explained. Oh. They've got a kid with them. Ace asked. Grade skipping is allowed here, so that's possible. But, he's not a child, he's a third year like us. His name is, Trey started before being interrupted. Lilia is my name. Lilia Van Rouge, the child, said out of nowhere, taking everyone by surprise. He teleported here. Grim said shakingly. Pray tell, are thou interested in mine dorm members? Fufufu, it is true that I might resemble a sprightly and endearing young boy. However, just like that man in glasses has said, I am a child no longer. Lilia stated. Sprightly, Trey trailed off, prithee, why not approach us instead of simply watching from afar? Are we not comrades from the same school? Then he turned to see Izumi and smiled. We from Diasomnia will welcome you anytime. Lilia said with sincerity. The other two didn't say anything though. Those two completely look like they don't want to be bothered though, Ace whispered to himself. Fufu. Pardon me from appearing from above while you dined. We will be taking our leave now. He said before he left. His two friends looking at Izumi before giving a bow and leaving. Whispering, our seat is practically 20 meters away from theirs, but you're telling me he heard us at that distance. Scary. Grim exclaimed. Well, that's how it is. Diasomnia's got a lot of very special students. Their dorm has a lot of members that are pretty gifted. Their prefect, Malleus Draconia, is said to be one of the 5 greatest sorcerers of our world. Trey informed his fellow students. Well, our prefect's probably tame in comparison, Cater said. Tame. He puts a collar on someone just for eating his tart. He's the worst, no doubt. Ace complained. I'm the worst. Yeah. Only a tyrant will keep up with those kinda rules. Gimme a break. Ace, don't look now but, points behind him, Izumi said making Ace nervous. G.H. Prefect. Ace cried out. Hey there, Riddle. You look super cute today, too, Cater said cheerfully. Humph, keep talking like that, Cater, and it will be off with your head, too. Riddle said as he looked at them about to reprimand Ace more. But then his eyes fall on Izumi, who flinched, a little nervous. Riddle's angry face loosened into one of confusion and surprise, and for some reason, as he looked at her emerald eyes, he felt his cheeks heat up a little. "Hello, Riddle." "Wonderland to Riddle?" Cater asked, waving a hand in front of the redhead's face, snapping him out of it. "You okay?" "Humph. Why, you don't need to worry about my well-being." Trey. As stated by the Queen of Hearts rule number 339, after-meal lemon tea should have nothing more or less than 2 sugar cubes in it. In order to protect that rule, I shall need to buy more sugar cubes at the school store. I'll be taking my leave now, Riddle said as he rushed out of the cafeteria. Trey then thought to himself. Wait, didn't I just buy some yesterday? Drip, drip. The greenette felt a shiver down her spine as she paused. What was that? Man, that was scary, but I think you saved us, Zumi, Cater pointed out. His face turned red when he made eye contact with you. Grim added. Do you think he's getting sick? Deuce and Ace frowned as they knew it was not the case. Well, I'm curious, how did Riddle become prefect anyway? Izumi asked. He managed to become the head 1 week after getting into the school. In Hearts Labial, if one wants to be prefect, they can challenge the current one to a duel, basically a winner takes all. He's a little bit sharp-tongued, but he's only got the dorm's best intentions in mind, so he's not really a bad guy. Trey defended. People who think like that don't just put collars on others. Izumi pointed out as Cater and Trey looked sheepish. Speaking of, what exactly is a unique magic? Grim asked. You mean Riddle's unique magic? Cater asked. Unique meaning, it's only exclusive to the prefect. Deuce asked. Putting aside all the other magic in the world, magic that can only be used by one person is called unique magic. I think you'll learn about it in detail if you pay attention in class. Trey explained. Riddle's unique magic is being able to seal off another person's magic for a given time. It's called, Cater explained. Riddle, off with your head. Shrieks, even the name's scary. Grim said in fright. Since magicians having their magic sealed off is similar to having your head chopped off, that's why, as long as you're in this dorm, it's better not to go against Riddle. Cater advised. Conversely, as long as you follow the rules, he can be pretty gentle. Trey finished. Oh yeah, am I gonna be chased out again if I don't come back with a tart? Ace whined. Pretty much that's what rule number 53 says, after all. Oh, and since Riddle was looking forward to getting the first slice of that tart, he probably won't forgive you if you don't bring the same thing, Cater said. You said you want to get along, but you won't let me off that easily. Ace yelled. Still, isn't a whole tart a little bit expensive? Deuce asked. Why not make one? It makes it cheaper. Izumi advised. Plus, it's a lot more delicious. That's a good idea, since those tarts were made by Trey, Cater said. You made all that, Trey senpai? Amazing. It's better than what they sell here. Ace said. Thanks. I think I have most of the tools and ingredients here, but I won't simply offer you my services. Trey joked. You're gonna ask us to pay you? Ace yelled. There's no way I can extort money from a junior, you know. Trey pointed out. The next tart that Riddle wants to eat requires a lot of chestnuts. Would you mind gathering some for me? It's troublesome either way. So, how much do you need? Ace asked. It's going to be used for the unbirthday party, so about 200 to 300 will do. Trey admitted. Deuce Grim, that much? I could help out. I had my share of experience in the kitchen. And Deuce, Grim, you two are helping as well. Izumi said sternly. Thanks, Zoo. Ace smiled. So, where can we get some chestnuts? Izumi asked Trey. There are a lot of chestnut trees right by the forest behind the school's botanical garden. You can't miss them. Trey said. All right. Then, let's gather in front of the greenhouse after school. Ace said as the others agreed. Go, go. We're going chestnut picking. Grim cheered back with Riddle, he had to calm down his pulse. Why did he suddenly hesitate when he saw the female student? Chapter 7, Heart's Labial Arc 3, Chestnuts and Masks After School. Izumi, Grim and the boys were looking for chestnuts in the woods behind the campus. Soon, they located the chestnuts. Whoa! There really are a lot of chestnuts here. If we have this much, then it's all you can eat Marin tarts for us. Gee, Grim chuckled as he started to walk without taking a certain thing into account. Let's hurry and, ouch. Gah. The chestnut's thorns dug into my paw pads. That's because chestnuts have a prickly skin, so that other animals can't eat them. Izumi told the cat as she gently took the thorns out of Grim's paw. Looks like it'll be impossible to pick them up with bare hands. I would also like to have a bucket to place them all in, too. Deuce said. Maybe we can find those things in the botanical garden. Ace asked. Good idea. Deuce added as they walked over to the garden. Once they were at the garden, Izumi was amazed by all the flowers. Whoa! It looks bigger on the inside. Ace remarked. We should be able to find the necessary tools here. Should we split up and look? Deuce asked. Sure, Grim and I will check the inner gardens. Izumi volunteered. I'll go right, then. Ace decided. I'll check west. Deuce finished. As the trio split, Izumi and Grim came across an interesting area of fruits. Hey, come look at this. It looks like there are tons of fruits here. They smell so good. Grim expressed gleefully. These are all plants I've never seen before. Not even with the help of Quirks. Izumi said as she looked around, but she wasn't looking where she was going. Ow. A new voice said. Wah. Did I step on something? The greenette thought as she looked down, seeing it was a long cat-like tail. Hey. You've got guts stepping on someone's tail without apologizing. A new individual said as he stood up. He was a tall man with tan skin and fairly defined muscles. He has thick, dark brown hair that goes down to his mid-torso, with long, side-parted bangs that fall over his eyes. Two sections of hair on both sides of his face are braided and tied at the ends with yellow bands. He had emerald green eyes, and a thin scar over his left eye that goes from his eyebrow to his cheek. A black lion tattoo wrapped around his left arm, just below his shoulder. He was wearing a yellow vest which signifies he's from Savannah Claw. But what caught Izumi's attention was that he had cat ears and tail. She recognized him as Leona Kingscholar. Are you the guy tending to this place? Wow, you've got quite a scary mug, Grim asked the new individual. I went here thinking I can have a peaceful nap, but then my tail gets stepped on. This the worst. He grumbled, ignoring Grim. I'm so sorry. I didn't see it. Izumi thought. You're the new female student, he said as he leaned in and sniffs Izumi. He's sniffing me. The girl thought in surprise and confusion. Strange. I suspected you don't have any magic, yet you have a certain power I can't describe, the male said in slight interest. I don't know how to explain, but his glares are sending chills down my spine. Grim thought as he shivered. You think I'm gonna let you off scot-free after you just stepped on the great Leona's tail? Leona smirked as he pulled Izumi close to him, making her blush. I already said I was sorry. Izumi said. I will need more than an apology to tie me over. Leona said, smirking. Izumi flinched as she remembered Bakugo, as he did this as a similar tactic to intimidate her. In her panic, she punched Leona and moved 6 feet away. Leona looked ticked until he saw the look in Izumi's eyes. It was clearly fear. Obviously she reacted like that for a reason. Heh, but maybe not now. Next time, be on your guard, little rabbit. Leona smirked as he stalked off. Gah. That was nerve-wracking. What's with that beastly attendant? Grim wondered with a look on his face. I don't think he tends to this place, Izumi said as she attempted to calm down. And he seemed like the lazy, laid-back type that doesn't like being woken up. Hey. We found a basket and some tongs here. Ace said, showing up with Deuce. Did something happen to you too? The spade boy asked. Oh. That's right. Chestnut picking. We won't be able to eat some tarts if we don't bring some back. Grim said before he started telling them about the scary attendant. Location, woods behind campus. You alright, Izumi? Deuce asked out of concern. I told you, I'm okay. Izumi assured him. That dude's definitely not an attendant. Ace pointed out. Now that I think about it, he was wearing a yellow vest. Maybe he's from the mackerel dorm. Grim guessed wrongly, making Izumi giggle. No, it's Savannah-Claw, Grim. He also had the animal traits that a lot of the students have there. The girl said. Though it sounded that he was interested in you. Wait. Did you say lion? Deuce asked. Izumi and Grim nodded at that. That was probably King Scholar. I heard he's the prefect of Savannah-Claw, but he doesn't seem to act like it. It seems he has one of his underlings do more of the work for him. Deuce said. All right. We picked up a lot, so this should be good. Let's go back to Trey-senpai. Ace said, changing the subject, probably because of the collar. Nyaha. I can practically taste the tart already. Grim laughed. Heart's Labial Kitchen, welcome back. I see you've picked a bunch. Trey greeted them as he put an apron on. You can make a gigantic tart with these. Though, you'll end up doing more work, but do your best. Trey said, rolling up his sleeves. All of this, I feel like we'll be here for a long time. Deuce sagged his shoulders. Preparing beforehand is necessary when making dessert. Trey pointed out. Yeah, I get it. Let's just get it over with. Ace said, really eager to get the collar off. After some time, they managed to get a lot of the chestnuts peeled, with Izumi doing a lot of them. Hee. Everything will be a breeze with her. Well, my mom wanted me to learn something useful for the long run, so I chose baking and cooking. Izumi said. Alright, next up, straining them. Trey said, getting ready to put the strainer out. There's still more. Ace yelled. Cooking isn't that easy, you know. Izumi reminded them. Haha. Well said. But I'm sure that your hard work will all be worth it. Trey smiled. I'm getting hungry just by the smell, Yano, the cat sighed. The marin base uses butter and sugar. And then, I also added some oyster sauce as a secret ingredient. Trey said, catching them by surprise. Ace Deuce, oyster sauce. Exactly. The savory flavor of the chestnuts gives the cream a rich flavor. And then, to make it better, I use this, Walrus brand young oyster sauce. There's no famous pâtissier who doesn't use this for their tarts, you know. He said, but Izumi had a feeling that this was a bluff. Really? It's a pretty salty sauce, isn't it? The spade boy asked, making a face. You know how they put chocolate in curry, too? It kinda makes sense. Ace shrugged. Laughs, I was just joking. There's no way I'd put oyster sauce in a dessert, you know. The green hair laughed. What the heck? Are you making fun of us? Ace yelled. Haha. It's obviously impossible if you think about it a little, Trey teased the two freshmen. The moral lesson here is that you shouldn't believe anything you're told. Learn to doubt a bit, okay? Trey said teasingly. Next is the fresh cream, Trey said in surprise. What's wrong? Ace asked. I got carried away with the chestnuts you picked that I went overboard with making the marin base. We're a little short on fresh cream. The third year frowned. I'll go buy some. Do they sell it in the school store? Deuce volunteered. That shop sells pretty much anything, so I'm sure it should be there. Can I also ask you to buy some other stuff while you're at it? 2 packs of milk, 2 cartons of eggs, silicone cups, and 5 canned fruits, Trey listed. I don't think I can carry all of that alone. Izumi, will you come with me? Sure. I haven't had a chance to visit the school store yet. Izumi said, taking off her apron. I'm going, too. I don't want to mix more dough. Grim followed after them. Location, Mr. S's mystery shop. Pardon us. Whoa, what an amazing shop. Crystal skulls, magical texts, and what sort of animal is this? Deuce asked as he looked around the store. What, can we really find some fresh cream here? Grim wondered as well. Hey. Little lost lambs, what can I help you with? He said, surprising the group. What is it that you wish for today? A charm against cheating. An ancient king's mirror. Or maybe, some cursed tarot cards. He asked. Wah. You startled me. Grim said. Hello sir. We would like to buy the things written on this note. Deuce gave him the list. What do we have here? Fresh cream and eggs. Oh, my. What a pretty sweet lineup. Okay. I shall bring them out now. Sam said as he gathered the ingredients. While he got the stuff, a glitter caught Izumi's eye. At a part of the store, Izumi saw 2 zodiac charms. These had the marks of Aries and Gemini. Here, thank you for the weight. It is rather heavy, so are you sure you can carry them all? If you act now, I can throw in a special bag to carry all of those things for 30% off of its original price. Sam offered. What did you say? Hey, that sounds interesting. The cat said, interested. But that made Deuce panic, grabbing Izumi and Grim. Will have to decline. Let's go, Grim. But why? I want to play more. Wait. Sam, what about these 2 charms? Izumi asked. Oh, those. They have special powers attached to them, but so far, no one has been able to unlock it. Can I buy those too? She asked. Sam was surprised but obliged. After Izumi paid 600 thalmarks, she got the charms. Okay. Then, I shall be waiting for your return, lost little lambs. Bye. As they left, one of Sam's friends whispered in his ear. He grinned further. I wonder. Location, Main Street. That was a very amazing shop, in a way. Deuce trailed off. Boo, you're so stingy, Deuce. The magic cat teased the boy. Who are you calling stingy? He said before recollecting himself. Clears throat. Prefect, the bag with the canned fruits is heavy, isn't it? I'll hold it for you. I'm experienced with carrying heavy loads. You're used to shopping, aren't you? And you don't have to call me prefect all the time. Izumi is fine. She asked her fellow freshman as Grim took a place on her shoulder. Yeah, mother always takes me with her during timed sales. She buys a lot, so I end up helping her with the bags. I'm the only man in the family, so I'm used to helping a lot with hard LBR. I'm sorry I keep talking about myself. Deuce trailed off. It's nice that you would be willing to help your mom out. Izumi said with a smile, but it dropped when she saw Deuce's expression. No, that's not true at all. My mother was. Deuce trailed off when someone bumped into him. Ouch. The eggs. Grim freaked out. DMN it. Half the eggs in the carton broke. The plastic bags now reeking with eggs. Deuce said as he looked over the bag. And Izumi looked over to see student A. That hurt. Where the hell re you lookin' at, wah, hey. You're the guys who ruined my carbonara soft-boiled egg during lunch today. Student B, DMN, it's you guys again. You better give us a break, aren't you the ones at fault for bumping into me? Even during lunch. The egg wasn't really that badly harmed, but you made a huge scene out of it. Our own carton of eggs is totally ruined, though. Deuce countered. He's totally right. Grim agreed. Student A, the hell. You sayin' it's my fault, then? Yes, please. Pay us back for the eggs. And also, please apologize to the chickens. Deuce said with a frown. Student B, ha. Makin' a ruckus over eggs, are we? Before Izumi knew it, Deuce switched to an angry mode and started beating up the delinquents. Yeah, you two better run. Grim snarked. Izumi rolled her eyes, but then she looked over at Deuce and noticed he had a frustrated look before shouting. Ah. What happened to you? Grim asked in shock. I did it again. I promised myself that I'd be a model student for sure this time, and yet. Deuce said, looking like he was going to break down. What do you mean, Deuce? Izumi asked. I wanted to be different from who I was back in middle school. I always skipped classes, and I got into fights every day. I didn't show respect to teachers and I hung out with a bad ilk of seniors. Even my hairstyle was pretty wild back then, too. I fought with anyone who I could fight with. I even used magic even on guys who couldn't use magic. I was an overall bad person then. Deuce explained. It totally doesn't look too obvious now, though. If not, you sure could have fooled me. Grim said. I could understand that from a few moments ago. Izumi trailed off before letting Deuce continue. But one night while I was hiding myself from view, I saw my mother cry and talk to my grandmother about it. She was asking her where she went wrong with raising me, and about whether she was a bad parent for how I turned out. But that's not it at all. She's not to blame. Everything's my fault. That's why, when the black carriage from the prestigious Night Raven College came to pick me up, I made sure that I will never take that smile away from my mother again. I made up my mind to become a model student that my mother can be proud of. And yet DMN it. He gripped his hair. But, Yano is enduring all of that part of being a model student. Grim asked. Grim's right. You actually are trying to make your mom be proud of you already. When one wants to change, that's when they began to change. Izumi reassured him as she pat arm. You guys, Deuce smiled. It's not good to bottle up all that stress. Grim agreed. I see, hee, the chicks will probably feel at ease now, too, huh? Deuce smiled. I hate to burst your bubble, but those eggs aren't fertilized, so they won't hatch into chicks in the first place. The female prefect dropped onto her classmate. What? You've gotta be kidding me. Deuce yelled in dismay. After the tarts were finally finished, Ace and Deuce decided to stay over at Ramshackle again, mainly because of Ace's collar issue. Trey and Cater thanked Izumi and Grim for letting the two stay over. Wait, can I come along too? We'll have fun, Cater asked before Trey held him back. Hey! Don't even think about it. Both Ace and Deuce shouted. Location, Heart's Labial Dorm, Lounge. When Trey and Cater got to the lounge, they were ambushed by 3 other students with upset looks on their faces. Trey-senpai, Cater-senpai. I'm so glad you're finally back. One of them said. Did something happen? Trey asked. According to rule number 256 by the Queen of Hearts, one should not drink lemonade with honey when it's past 8 in the evening. One student replied. About 10 students disobeyed the rule and the dorm head put collars on all of them. Another of the dorm members sighed. Cater and Trey gained worried looks. I don't want to live this kind of life anymore. He keeps enforcing unreasonable rules. I want to transfer to another dorm. Another dorm member cried as the others agreed. It's going to be okay. I'll go talk with the prefect. You guys go back to your room. Trey informed his underclassmen. Then, I'll go make some tea to help calm our queen down. Cater said as he was heading for the kitchen. Sorry about this, Cater. Oh yeah, can you make some herb tea instead of red tea? If I remember correctly, rule number 153 states that herb tea is the only one allowed at night, Trey reminded his fellow senior. You got it. Cater replied. Unknown to anyone but Izumi, she heard something. Drip, 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 and a chill crawled up her spine. She just hoped nothing would happen. Chapter 8, Heart's Labial Arc 4, Unhappy Unbirthday. That night Izumi had another dream, but something was different. She was back in the rose garden where the Queen of Hearts appeared, only she looked furious as she looked at the 3 club card soldiers. You have sullied my roses. Who's responsible for this outrage? She yelled as the 3 card soldiers started accusing each other. That's enough. Off with their heads. The stern queen yelled as her other soldiers took them away, not even pitying their fate. Izumi frowned at this, not liking the queen at all. Why wouldn't she let the roses stay white even if it was a mistake? And why didn't anyone intervene? This different from what they described her. Was she really a great ruler, or were they really that scared of her? Izumi thought as she felt herself fading out of the dream. Be careful. Something will go wrong. A voice said as a symbol appeared in her hand. The sign of Libra. When Izumi woke up, the Libra charm was in her hand. After school, Ace and Deuce were waiting for Izumi to get the tart she saved in the fridge. Then Deuce went to the door once he heard a knock. Hello. It was Cater. Good morning. How was yesterday's sleepover? Did you experience youth fully by playing cards and other games? Ace replied to him with a sleepy expression. Yawns, good morning, Cater-senpai. So, shall we hurry and bring the tarts we made to apologize to Riddle? Cater suggested. Location, Heart's Labial Dorm. The group approached the grounds as Ace had a look of determination. Alright, I'll head on and bring the tart to the dorm head so I can apologize. Then the group saw a group of at least 3 Caters. Cater B, hey, you're finally here. What took you so long, me? Cater A, I'm home. Sorry for the wait, me, all. There are 2 diamond senpais. Deuce asked. You were a twin. Ace yelled. Oh, no. I'm the only male sibling. This is my unique magic, split card. I can make clones of myself using magic. Wow. That's impressive. Izumi said, amazed. Cater C, welcome back. Cater D, welcome, Izumi-chan. Cater B, it was so difficult you made me wait so long. Ace, there's more of him. Ace said in shock. I'm getting dizzy just watching this. Grim said, holding his head. By the way, the real Cater is me. Cloning myself is pretty tiring, so I don't want to prolong this. In any case, it's off with our heads if we're late. We'd better get going. Me army, we're done for the day. The original Cater said to his clones. Aye, sir, said the clones before vanishing. Location, Heart's Labial Dorm, Tea Garden. The tea garden was all set for the party as trumpet blared. Make way for our leader, the Red Ruler, Prefect Riddle. 3 cheers for Prefect Riddle. Indeed. The roses are red and the tablecloths are white. Truly a perfect unbirthday party. Riddle smirked approvingly. The dormouse is sleeping inside the teapot just as planned, correct? He asked Trey. Of course. The jam to put on its nose is ready, should the need arise, too. Trey nodded. Well done. Riddle nodded. Whoa. What's with that getup? He looks so cool. Deuce said. Fufu, the Heart's Labial Dorm uniform is super cool, isn't it? It's totally fashionable and very grammable. I'm gonna go get changed, too. The Queen of Hearts states that a dress code is necessary for party days. After all, I'll coordinate your clothes for you as a special service for today, Cater said as he gave them the uniform for Heart's Labial. On the uniform's jacket is a white rose, covered in red paint. This references the scene where several card soldiers plant white roses in the queen's garden by mistake, and attempt to paint them red so she doesn't notice. The vests have a pattern on them consisting of all 4 playing card suits representing the queen's card soldiers, in addition to crowns representing the queen herself. A chessboard pattern is also present on a sleeve of the standard dorm uniform. Grimm even got a bow of hearts labial. Whoa! Deuce said at his new outfit. Dude, this is totally stylish. Ace exclaimed. Nyaha. I look so cool. Grimm said in his new bow. Then the boys spotted Izumi. Wow, it's been a while since I've been in a dress, but not as fancy as this. Izumi said as she looked at her own outfit. It looked like a red dress with a white frilly apron which complemented her figure well. Don't forget to offer him the tart, got it? Alright, off to the party. Cater said as the group headed off for the party. Let us toast before we proceed with the croquet match. Does anyone have their teacups already? Riddle asked as everyone nodded and raised their cups. Now then, a toast to a day with no birthdays. A toast to the unbirthday party. The red-headed prefect announced. Cheers. Ace, now's your chance. Go apologize. Izumi nudged Ace forward. Alright, prefect, you are, the first year who stole my tarts. Riddle frowned. I was thinking of apologizing for what I did, so I made a new batch of tarts. Ace said as he presented the tarts. I'll ask just to be sure, but what kind of tarts did you make? Riddle asked. Thank you for asking. It's a marin tart made with lots of chestnuts. Ace said proudly. But rather than giving approval, Riddle gave Ace a look of disgust to Izumi and Jim's confusion. Marin tart, you say? How atrocious. What? The greenette asked, just as surprised. Rule number 562 of the Queen of Hearts. Refrain from bringing marin tarts for the unbirthday party. This is a capital crime. What have you done? You've wasted a perfect unbirthday party. The redhead shouted in accusation. Our rule #. Deuce and Grimm shouted in disbelief. Hold on a minute. Just how many rules are there? Izumi asked incredulously. There are a total of 810 rules and I've memorized all of them. A small feat for a dorm head, I must say. Riddle said with a hint of prideful arrogance. Cater and Trey were just as surprised and whispered to each other. Whispering, oh, man, this is bad, did you know that, Trey? Whispering, I've only managed to memorize until rule #. I completely let my guard down. I didn't know there would be rules regarding the tarts, too, as Hearts Labial's prefect, I cannot simply turn a blind eye towards this appalling rule-breaking. Get those marin tarts away from me at once. And throw these 2 away from the grounds at once. Riddle ordered. Izumi was shocked at their actions as some students moved to take Deuce and Ace away, but then just as before, another of Izumi's new charms glowed and suddenly, one new knight appeared, only it was more machine-like. Cubans and Cause was out too. They blocked the Hearts Labial students from reaching Ace and Deuce. What? Riddle yelled surprised as he saw Izumi defending her 3 classmates. I can understand that following rules can help one grow, but this is just crossing the line. Izumi spoke against Riddle. Why you? Off with your head. Riddle yelled his unique magic, but the machine knight moved, and when the collar appeared, it looked brittle and the being destroyed it. Whoa. Prefect Roseheart's magic. Did it get destroyed? Not entirely. I weakened it. The machine knight said in a metallic voice. Then he looked at Ace before doing the same to his collar. Riddle was shocked, and when telling the knights to move, they would not budge. We obey only Izumi Midoriya. They said in unison. I guess from the looks of things, we're not going to have a conversation to fix the problem. Izumi said, sensing the tense atmosphere as she looked at Cause. Can you get us out of here? Gladly. He said, glaring at Riddle. In a flash, Izumi and the others vanished. Wah! Where did they go? Was that a teleportation spell? Teleportation magic is very rare and can change the course of a battle in seconds. The air around the unbirthday party was still cold even after she left. Riddle. Trey asked his shell-shocked leader. No matter. We'll continue this party. We'll be behind if we delay croquet. Riddle said, his voice a little strained. He remembered Izumi's look. Her eyes filled with anger and disappointment. He was mad that she defied him, yet why did he feel guilt? Her group found themselves outside Heart's Labial as they headed for Ramshackle. Ah, thanks cause, and Izumi said, looking at the new summon. Zuban Eskamali, Libra Knight. Okay, that is a long name, can I call you Zuban for short? Izumi asked as he nodded and the knights vanished. DMN it. I'm so set off. That little red-haired menace. Yeah, my collar is off now, but Quirk. Does he plan on turning into the next Queen of Hearts? Ace yelled. Getting thrown out for disobeying the prefect. I'm slowly drifting away from becoming a model student, Deuce said in dismay. What cha talking about, yeah? A new voice popped up, and the two turned to see a floating head. Wah! Gyah! A headless ghost. Grim shrieked. Oh, oopsies, I forgot to show you my body. The head said, and the rest of his body appeared. What the so you've got a body, too you are. Deuce said, regaining his composure. The individual had cat ears and a mischievous smile as he appeared. I'm Alchemy Alchemivich Pinka. He introduced himself. I got kitty magic, but also human magic. I'm sorta a weird guy. Alki, come again. Ace asked, confused. I'm just as confused. Izumi added. Ofufu, just call me Chainaya at the very least, I'm super different from those guys in there, he pointed to the dorm. Oh, so what dorm are you from? Grim asked. Savannahclaw. Boo, wrong. To be honest, I attend a different school, but I'm just visiting. Either way, what were you talking about? The Nico boy asked. I'm in a bad mood, 'cause that little tyrant was being unreasonable. Go away. Ace bluntly stated. Riddle's a tyrant fufufu. Well, I guess there's some truth in that guy's been a little stickler for the rules since he was little fufufu though in his situation, Chainaya said with a faraway look in his eyes. Wait, did that mean he knew something about Riddle? Wait. Do you know something about it? Deuce asked, gaining a look. I guess you could say that I do, but then at the same time I can say that I don't, the Nico teased. Which is it? You're getting on my nerves, Grim asked, irritated. What? You guys wanna know about Riddle? The Nico pet his head to the side. Hell yeah, we do. I wanna know who raised a little tyrant like that. Ace grumbled. Then, go ask that glasses guy you mean, Clover Senpai. Deuce asked. He's known Riddle since they were kids. If I were you, I'd go ask him, Chainaya explained. They're childhood friends. They didn't give off that kind of atmosphere, Deuce said with Izumi gaining a confused frown. If that's what you think, then. Maybe that's what it is. I guess you don't need me anymore, so I'm going. And with that, he vanished. Hey. Fufufu, they could still his laughter. That was a very weird dude. Ah. I just sounded like him. Grim said to himself. Let's go ask Clover Senpai about it. Plus, Deuce pointed out. It's super lame to go and apologize, so I'm not doing that. Ace said stubbornly. Oh boy, Izumi sighed at them. Chapter 9, Heart's Labial Arc 5, the snapped rose tray was currently in the library going over some books he would need, and returning some when he heard some footsteps coming towards him. Clover Senpai. Ace said, getting his attention. Oh, It's you guys, Trey said with a blank look. We figured that we'd meet you here in the library because we assumed you'll be returning the recipe book you borrowed. Deuce said, silently letting Trey know that they wanted to talk about something. We still can't be convinced with the way the prefect does things. Ace stated with his hands on his hips. I figured. He sighed. Either way, a Nico boy came across our path, and told us that you knew Riddle since you were kids. Izumi said, getting Trey's attention. A Nico, you mean Chainaya? Trey asked as he realized who the female prefect was talking about. That's the one. Anyway, he said that you actually knew Riddle as kids. Do you know why Riddle does all this rule enforcing? Deuce asked. Not to mention, you're older than Riddle, aren't cha? Why don't you get mad at him? Grim added on. I'll do that if there's a need to, but there's nothing I can do against him. Trey sighed out. Why? Ace said. Everything that Riddle is right now is because he was raised with very strict rules. Trey said, getting their attention. Trey began to explain with a solemn face. His parents are very famous magicians in our homeland, the Queendom of Hearts. There's no one in their town who didn't know their names. His mother is especially well known, and she wished for Riddle to be the same since he was born. So, everything from what time he wakes up to what time he goes to sleep, and even his meals, games, and academic programs were all decided for him. Gay everything? Grim asked waringly. Izumi didn't like the sound of this. What he can eat, what he should wear, and what sort of friends he can make as well. Trey confirmed. In order to answer his parents' expectations, Riddle kept quiet and did his best. By the time he was 10 years old, he had perfected that unique magic of his. He also had to continuously first place in school ever since elementary school. So, I can't even imagine how difficult that could be. Trey further explained. So Riddle was raised to think that being harsh will benefit everyone in the long run. He believes that being bound to tight rules and obeying them out of fear will make people grow because that's how he was raised. And he thinks that breaking the rules is a bad thing because if he overlooks the rule breakers, it's as if he's denying everything that he was made to be right. Izumi said, earning a nod from Trey. I understand why you'd think of him as a tyrant, and I understand that the way he does things is a little wrong, too. But, I still can't find it in myself to go against him at all. Trey finished letting the information settle in. So the prefect endured all that, Deuce said, having no idea what else to say. Now that I know more, I understand completely now. The reason why Prefect Riddle is like that, it's all your fault, Ace realized. Everyone minus Izumi said. Ace is right in a way. Izumi vouched, gaining attention as well. She continued, Riddle can't do anything about his mom because he didn't choose to have her as a parent. But at the very least, you've always thought that the way she treated him was unfair, right? His mom never realized that her rules are not only hurting others around him but himself as well. From the sound of it, she never bothered to tell him what's right or wrong, or that there's no set of rules that are truly black and white. Besides, you said she decided his friends, meaning she was a poor judge on other kids including their parents. Didn't you ever think that maybe her own neighbors actually hated her because of her judgment on others and strict ways but were too afraid to say anything? Did anyone even tell her she was right to do that? And did she ever attend any events they had that she would disapprove of? Plus you mentioned his mom wanting him to be the best, but what about his dad? Did he really take her side, or did she end up pushing him away? Trey tried to reason, but he couldn't find anything to argue about. The other day, some of their dorm mates wanted to transfer to even her dorm because they were getting tired of Riddle's authority. Thinking back when they were children, while his parents did socialize with others at parties and such, no one would get close to the Rosehearts until she approached them. And they would sigh when she left. When she was gone or not around, people would talk badly about her behind her back and only kissed up to her for one reason or another. And now that he thought of it, aside from mandatory meetings and such, none of the other mothers or women in the country invited Mrs. Rosehearts to simple things such as a lunch or tea invite, or even an outing in the park. And at one point, Riddle's parents did divorce. Her judgment towards other people's way of life pushed her husband away to the arms of a kinder, gentler woman. Riddle's father was a well-known doctor, but he was practically a saint compared to his ex-wife, and he was originally betrothed to her at a young age, but his own parents realized their mistake too late, so he was stuck in a loveless marriage. He was the one who wanted the divorce, but he couldn't get custody of Riddle to end his son's nightmare. Since then, she only caused more misery for Riddle as she enforced her authority on him even more. From that silence it means Izumi's hunch is right. Deuce said. If you think that the prefect's making the same mistakes as his mother, then tell him directly. He added. They have a point. He won't learn anything if you keep spoiling him. Grimm adds. Trey, you may be a vice prefect, but you were his friend first. If no one tells him, he'll end up alone after graduating. And I don't think his mom prepared him for that. Izumi added. Yeah. Are you just gonna watch everyone hate him and alienate him from a distance? Ace finished. That caused Trey to be silent. Hey, Ace. Deuce said, trying to calm his friend down. Or what? You're keeping quiet because you're scared of that collar. You're super lame. You call yourself his childhood friend, but the way things are, you're not even his friend at all. Ace yelled out. You boys. This is the library, so keep it down, please. Crowley boomed. You're the one shouting right now, Yano. Grimm pointed out. Oh, pardon me. Clears throat before whispering, good grief, the library is meant to be a quiet place where people can study and enjoy reading. Crowley put a hand to his mouth. Sorry about that, headmaster. Izumi apologized with a bow. Ahem. So, what is everyone doing here all gathered with such troubled faces? Crowley asked. Well, Deuce said he explained the whole situation. An explanation later, I see. Well, that would explain recent events, Crowley muttered. What? Ace asked. To be honest, I have been getting a flood of complaints about Rosehearts. And it's not just from the first years of Heart's Labial. A number of second and third years were collared, and they are complaining that they can't do their magic for their classes, causing their grades to slip. A lot of them are even asking to change dorms just to get the collars off. Teachers are getting angry as well. Vargas, Cruel, and even Train came to me earlier, and they were not happy about the third years being unable to defend themselves or even perform simple spells. If this keeps up, I don't even want to think about it. But the problem is that the mirror of darkness is the one that judges based on what it sees in your soul, so it is actually quite a Herculean task to transfer dormitories. Crowley explains. See. Grimm shrugged at Trey, who slightly looked away. Transferring, I feel like I'd lose to the mirror if I did that, so I don't really want to go for it. Ace grumbled. Another way around it, challenging little Rosehearts to a duel and then take the title of prefect for yourself. Crowley suggested with a smile. All, eehee. Whispering, I said, please keep it down. The headmaster shushed. Whispering, it's because you said something weird, headmaster. Ace whispered back. Nothing strange in it at all, my boy. Little Rosehearts himself got the position by doing the same thing, after all. Crowley admitted. How is the prefect position decided here in Night Raven College? Deuce wondered. I heard them say that Riddle managed to be the prefect 1 week after becoming a freshman. Grimm added. Well, I heard that they can either be appointed by the previous prefect, or they can win a duel against them. However, it's different for every dorm though. Pomfior, for example, one would have to create the most potent poison ever, even stronger than the current prefects. From what I hear, it's not easy to do. Izumi told the boys. Midoriya is right. Another way is to challenge the current prefect in a duel. Crowley added. But, I thought that using magic for one's own benefit was forbidden. Ace asked. For personal gain, yes. However, a duel appointed and approved by the headmaster himself due to official and valid reasons is different. Crowley informed him. I remember it's forbidden to enforce a handicap on your opponent before a duel starts, but Trey said, unsure of where this is going. New students are given the right to challenge their prefect should they want to. What will you do, Traplakuan? Will you challenge him? Crowley asked in curiosity. Alright, then. I'll show him who's boss. Ace said determined. I'll do, too. Deuce agreed. Me, too. Grim added. Grim, you're from Ramshackle, remember? Izumi reminded the cat. Midoriya's right. Unfortunately, you're from a different dorm so you can't participate, Grim-kun. Students can't challenge a prefect from another dorm. Crowley shrugged. Wah. DMN it this was a chance for me to show off my skills, too, Grim slouched. Are you guys serious? I didn't think that you'd agree with them, Deuce. Trey said a little surprised. Really? As a man, wouldn't it be great to aim for the top at least once? Since I feel this is all unfair to our fellow dorm mates, I'll do my best if we're gonna go ahead and challenge him. Deuce said, stealing his courage. Then, I shall inform you of the proceedings of the duel. Crowley said, signaling his approval. You sure you can do this, Ace? Will you be okay? Izumi asked, worried for her friend. You don't have to be so worried so, do you guys have any good ideas? Ace asked the others. I feel like Prefect will win if we go with magic. If we go physical, then we have a chance of winning. Deuce pointed out. True, he looks fragile. Grim added. I think I should tell you any attacks aside from magic is forbidden. The headmaster chuckled out weakly. Ha ha ha. Let's have a fun duel while playing by the rules. I shall finish telling you everything tomorrow, so please inform me when the duel will take place. Now then, please excuse me. Crowley bowed before he left. All right. I don't have the confidence if it's magic, but we'll manage somehow. Ace exclaimed. Why yeah. Deuce agreed. You better do your best. Grim exclaimed. You guys, Trey trailed off. When I become the prefect, I'll have him say, I was wrong, I'm sorry. And I'll make him stop enforcing all those dumb rules on everyone. Ace exclaimed in determination. Izumi smiled but shivered as she thought she heard a familiar click of Riddle's collar and a certain sound again. Drip, 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 hey, you alright henchman? Grim noticed the greenette's look. Sorry, just a little nervous about this. In truth, she was paranoid. Will things turn out okay? Izumi and Grim had returned home, and she looked over the new charms she had. Getting the grimoire out, she began thinking of them as words appeared. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, spanning approximately March 21 to April 19, known for its bold, ambitious, and energetic nature, ruled by Mars. It's a fire sign symbolized by a ram. If Aries signs were to have a superpower, based on their characteristics, it would likely be super strength or fire manipulation due to their fiery, energetic, and courageous nature. Here's a more detailed look at why, super strength, Aries are known for their courage, determination, and a willingness to face challenges head-on, making them natural leaders and warriors. Super strength would be a fitting embodiment of this. Fire manipulation, as a fire sign, Aries is associated with passion, energy, and a bold, adventurous spirit. Fire manipulation would represent their fiery personality and ability to ignite passion in others. Other potential powers, some consider Aries to have the power of super speed or to be able to manipulate fire, which also aligns with their passionate and energetic nature. Powers include energy absorb, energy weapons, explosive body blasts, fire manipulation, immobility, super strength, Libra, symbolized by the scales, is the seventh zodiac sign, generally governing those born between September 22 and October 23, and known for its air element and ruling planet Venus, emphasizing balance, beauty, and harmony. Here's a deeper look into Libra's astrological traits, symbol and symbolism. The scales represent balance, fairness, and justice, key characteristics of a Libra. It's the only inanimate object of the zodiac, reflecting its focus on finding balance and harmony. Sometimes depicted as being held by Astrea, the Roman goddess of justice. Element and ruling planet, Libra is an air sign, known for its intellectual, communicative, and adaptable nature. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, rules Libra. Libras are often seen as the peacemakers of the zodiac, possessing a natural charm and ability to see all sides of an issue, making them skilled diplomats and mediators, with a strong sense of justice and fairness. Here's a more detailed look at Libra's superpowers. Peacemaker and mediator. Libras are known for their ability to find common ground and resolve conflicts, often acting as a bridge between opposing viewpoints. Diplomatic skills. Their charm and tact allow them to navigate social situations with grace and ease, making them excellent communicators and relationship builders. Sense of justice and fairness. Libras have a strong moral compass and a longing for balance and harmony, making them strive for justice and fairness in all areas of life. Aesthetic appreciation. Libras are drawn to beauty and elegance, often possessing a keen eye for detail and a natural talent for art and design. Sensitivity to others. Libras are deeply attuned to the emotions and needs of those around them, which enables them to navigate complex social dynamics with grace and empathy. Other powers include compelling minion creation, people shape-shifting power, weakened prehensile hair, nails, winged flight. Gemini. Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac, represented by the twins, and typically associated with people born between May 21 and June. Geminis are known for their intellectual curiosity, communication skills, and adaptability, ruled by the planet Mercury. Here's a more detailed look at Gemini in astrology. Key traits, symbol, twins, Castor and Pollux. Element, air. Ruling planet, Mercury. Dates, May 21 to June. Duality. The Gemini sign is known for its duality, reflecting the two sides of a coin. As an air sign ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, Geminis are often seen as having the superpower of versatility and adaptability, allowing them to excel in diverse situations and effortlessly juggle multiple tasks or interests. Here's a more detailed look at Gemini's superpowers, based on their astrological traits, adaptability and versatility. Geminis are known for their ability to adapt to different situations, making them excellent problem solvers. Communicative. As Mercury is the planet of communication, Geminis have a natural talent for expressing themselves and are often great conversationalists. Intellectually curious. They have a thirst for knowledge and are always eager to learn and explore new ideas. Versatile talents. Geminis often have multiple talents and interests, excelling in various fields. Shape-shifting. Geminis are known for being changeable, two-faced, and somewhat unpredictable. With so much energy, Geminis can have a hard time choosing which part of their personality to display. Other powers include duplication, enhanced speed, knowledge replication, remote viewing, sonic wave generation, telepathy. Izumi was amazed by this information. Maybe once this mess with Riddle is over, she can try to summon them herself. Although they have been helpful to her so far. As it was getting late, Izumi went to heed. Once again Izumi found herself in another dream. Only this time, it was in a courtroom where that girl Alice was being tested. But she had a brave face. Dream sequence. Queen of Hearts. I'll give you a piece of my mind. What kind of a queen are you? You're just a selfish and evil tyrant who does what she wants. Alice said, angry at the queen's temper. What did you just say, girl? The queen said as she started to turn red. She called you a selfish tyrant, a smiling cat taunted. Off with her head. The guard guards went after Alice as she ran. It's the queen's orders. Off with her head. A small man yelled as the soldiers made the chase. Izumi could not stand the sight of this, so she ran to see if she can help Alice, but the dream faded. Don't worry. Alice got away. A voice said. Ha. She's all right. Izumi asked, wondering who said that. And a ball of light appeared. Alice was the first to challenge the Queen of Hearts and the first to escape her. It didn't take long for Wonderland to rise and rebel against their own queen after that. Despite her authority, it ironically became her end. The voice said. So, the queen? Izumi asked. Yes, she was done in by her own subjects when they couldn't take any more after that trial. And a certain person you know may face the same fate. The voice adds. If such a situation arises, call for Caduceus. He will help. The dream fades as Izumi wakes up. Looking at the charms and the book, she made up her mind to bring them. Just in case. The news of what was going on spread around the Hearts Labial dorm like a wildfire the next morning. Hey, did you hear? Someone challenged Prefect Rosehearts to a duel. One Hearts Labial student said. The prefect. I can't imagine it. It'll probably be over in a flash. But this is the first challenge he's ever gotten. Let's go watch at least. In the Rose Maze, Izumi was watching from the sidelines with Grim in her arms. Ace and Ducey were guided by the headmaster into challenging Riddle to a duel. Are you serious? Cater asked Trey. I tried to stop them, though. Geez, now they've done it. I hope this won't turn out for the worst. Yeah, now then, I shall be watching over the duel about to take place here in the Hearts Labial dormitory. The challengers are Ace Trapola and Deuce Spade. The one who accepted the challenge is the current prefect Riddle Rosehearts. Crowley announced. Although, I almost doubted it when I heard that you had challenged me to a duel. Are you really serious? Riddle questioned. Of course. Ace said. We will never challenge you as a joke. Deuce added. Humph, never mind. Let's get started quickly. Riddle said as he looked over to Izumi. She looked to be more concerned for Ace and Deuce, not directing her eyes on him. Riddle, what should we do about our afternoon tea? Cater asked. No problem. Afternoon tea always has to be at exactly 4 p.m. Riddle replied. But it's already past 3:30. Do you think I'll be late for anything in my life? I'm pretty sure this will be over quickly. Riddle said in a smug tone before gesturing to Cater to whisper something before the third year nodded and turning back to the duel. As you can see, I don't have enough time. Taking you on one at a time will be time-consuming, so come at me, both of you. I need to do this quickly so I can talk with Midoriya. He thought. You can do it, Prefect. Please settle it quickly. The Hearts Labial residents shouted. From the way the student said it, Izumi knew the cheering was fake. She had seen her share of fake smiles when it came to her life back home. They sound confident. Deuce commented. Ugh, that's so creepy. Grim muttered. We didn't come here without a plan, you know. Ace said. Headmaster, please begin at once. The prefect said, wanting to get it over with. Crowley nodded as he took out a small hand mirror in his hand, holding it up. The moment this hand mirror falls to the ground is the signal to start. Ready, fight. But before Deuce and Ace could do anything, Riddle simply put the collars back on them to stop them from using their magic. It seemed completely unfair. DMN it. Can he do nothing else but seal other people's magic? Ace shouted. To think that we couldn't even do anything. Deuce lamented. It's not even a fair fight, Izumi thought with worry. One's magic strength comes from strength of the imagination. The stronger he imagines the results of his magic will be, the more successful it will turn out. Little Rosehearts here has shown how much he has polished his magical skills. Crowley explained. Ah, the difference in their levels is just too much. Grim complained. Humph, that didn't even take 5 seconds. I'm surprised that you went and challenged me with your skill level. Aren't you embarrassed? Anyone who breaks the rules will always amount to nothing. It is as mother said. Riddle scoffed. But then Deuce began to speak up. It's true that rules should be protected. But, strictly implementing every single nitpicky rule you can find is called oppression. Ha! There is a punishment for rules that are broken. And I am this dorm's absolute rule. That's why, those who break the rules have no right to complain to me. Riddle stated like it was natural. The rules themselves are no real reason to do whatever you want. That's what a tyrant does. A real leader must have real courage. Izumi stood with her friends. No one would follow a soft leader. What sort of lessons were you given from your own parents that you can't even understand something so simple as this? They must have been pathetic themselves compared to you. Riddle scoffed. Izumi gritted her teeth, thinking of her mother, who worked long hours and gave her daughter all the love she could despite her quirklessness. But Ace beat them to it with a punch to the face, shocking everyone. I've had enough of you. He punched the prefect. That was a pretty clean right hook. Grim exclaimed. Ace. Deuce said just as surprised. I'm tired. I don't care about you or this duel anymore. Ace said darkly. Riddle was still in a daze. No one ever dared to lay a hand on him before. Ouch! You punched me. Kids aren't their parents' trophies. Your parents aren't the ones who get to decide what you're worth. I finally understand that you being a trashy person isn't your mom's fault at all. You've been in this school for a year. And the one to blame is the bstrd you call a friend who did nothing but turn a blind eye to your selfishness. Ace remarked. What are you saying? Riddle asked darkly. I understand that your mom raised you the way she did, but is mama this, mama that, all you can say? You're not capable of thinking for yourself. To hell with that, red ruler, bullshit. You're just a baby who happens to be gifted with magic. Ace shouted. Baby, you say. Me. You know nothing and yet you don't know anything about me and yet. Riddle yelled only to be interrupted. Yeah, I don't. I don't know a DMN thing. Do you think anyone would bother to understand with that attitude of yours? Don't be stupid. Ace asked rhetorically. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Quiet. Riddle began to shout, looking more like a kid throwing a tantrum when things didn't go their way. Mother is right. That's why I'm also right. Then Izumi noticed a bad shift in the air. And she was not alone. Trey began to panic when Riddle was starting to go berserk. Riddle, calm down. The duel is already over. Clover is right. Any attacks done outside of the duel will nullify your victory. If you continue to do any more than this, you will be breaking the rules. Crowley said, trying to get some sense into the raging redhead. But some of the Hartslabial residents were getting just as mad about this, and out of nowhere someone threw an egg at the ill-tempered prefect. What was that? An egg. Did someone throw that? Cater asked as he panicked. Who threw that egg at me? Riddle shouted in anger as no one dared to answer. Before anyone knew it, it seemed that Riddle had finally snapped with madness. Ha 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 ha. You've had enough. I'm the one who's had enough. No matter how much I warned you, no matter how strict I've gotten, you all kept breaking the rules. Every single one of you, you're all just idiots who think about yourselves. Very well. If no one will admit, then I'll have you all take responsibility. Many of the students suddenly got scared and started scattering anywhere to find a hideaway. Off with all your heads. Off with your head. Riddle started shrieking like a banshee as students ran for their lives. All. Run away. In the process of trying to get away, students left and right got the collars on their necks. But it felt like it was suffocating them. Quirk. The collar is. Riddle began cackling like a madman. Ahahaha. How's that? Now none of you can raise a hand against me. I'm the only one who's right because I protect the rules. Desist, Rose Hearts. Not following the rules is unlike you at all. Crowley yelled in desperation. Trey, this is looking bad. If he uses any more of that magic, Cater said worried. Getting the point, Trey had to intervene. Riddle, enough. Meanwhile Ace was trying to divert the redhead's attention. Hey, you. Not everything will go the way you want, you know. You throwing a tantrum like that is exactly why I called you a baby. Take that back right now. Do you want to get skewered? Riddle shouted, red in the face. Hell no. Never. Ace gritted out. Riddle screamed in anger as the rose garden became disoriented. Cater shouted to Izumi. This is really getting bad. You guys, get out of here. But she was not paying attention. She realized this is what that voice in her dream meant. She had to stop Riddle. Whwa. All the rose trees in the courtyard are floating. Grimm said in fright. Is this distorted magic? Does he plan on using that on Ace? Grimm yelled in panic. Rose trees, tear that man's body to shreds. Riddle yelled as the trees came to life. This is bad. Get out of the way. Crowley warned, however, Zubin Eskamali. Weaken it. She used her Libra charm and Zubin made the trees brittle and fall apart. At that Trey shouted to Riddle. Riddle, enough already. As Trey said that, the collars were coming off. Trey's doodle suit. But how? Cater asked. I told you, right? My doodle suit can change any given situation for a short amount of time. That's why, I changed Riddle's magic to be replaced with mine. Trey explained. Cater was shocked. No way is that even possible. That's like a cheat, isn't it? Ugh, off with your head. I said, off with your head. Why are cards coming out? Riddle exclaimed. Stop that, Riddle. You're only setting yourself up for destruction. Look at everyone's faces. Trey yelled as he gestured to the other students in the area looking in fright. He was serious about skewering him. That's going too far, he's a monster. But Riddle was not listening. Ha! My magic was overwritten by Trey's. Does that mean that his magic is stronger than mine? Trey countered. There's no way that's true. Riddle, calm down and listen to what they're saying. Are you saying that I'm wrong, too? Even after I did my best to protect all those strict rules. Even after I've endured so many things. I will never believe it. Riddle said as a dark aura surrounded him. You mustn't, Rose Hearts. If you use your magic further, your magic jewel will become tainted with blot. Crowley yelled in worry. Blot. What does that dash? Izumi thought when she saw some black stuff emerging around Riddle. What is that dash? What's going on? Grimm screamed in fear as he hid behind Cater. I alone am. I'm the only one who is right. Riddle. What looked like black ink surrounded Riddle and changed him completely. Riddle had went into overblot. Chapter 10, Heart's Labial Arc 6, Taming the Tyrant. Is that what happens when one overblots? He looks more menacing. Is it a corruption of sorts? Izumi thought as her charms began to vibrate. Riddle then began acting like a crazed megalomaniac as his voice sounded demoniac. Ha 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 ha. I do not need anyone who defies me in my world. I am my world's absolute ruler. My world itself submits to me. I will not tolerate any answer aside from, yes, Lord Riddle. It's off with the heads of everyone who defies me. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah, how could this happen? How could I let a student go into overblot while I am here? Crowley panicked. What's overblot? That guy's turned completely evil now. Grimm said, very afraid. Crowley quickly explained, overblot is the one situation that all magicians should avoid. Right now, he has been enveloped by so much negative energy that he's lost control over his emotions and magic. You mean it's some sort of corruption? Izumi asked. Somewhat like that, but yes. Kater answered. If this goes on, Riddle's life will be in danger. Trey said, what? The Greenette yelled, shocked. Does that mean if he keeps doing this, he'll? Grim shouted in panic. His life. The other students' lives takes more priority. I'll go help with the evacuation. Rosehearts must come to his senses before his magic consumes him. Losing his life is an absolute bad scenario, but even worse is, Crowley paused fearing the worst. In any case, you boys go get the rest of the staff and dorm heads to help control the situation, take this. Come forth, Cauldron. Ace and Deuce attacked Riddle to keep him in one spot. You insolent little. What are you doing? Riddle shouted in anger. Hey, what are you guys up to? Kater said in fright. You said he would be in danger if we leave him like that. Grim exclaimed. I don't really want him to go out that way. Plus, Deuce said as Ace finished. I still haven't heard him say, it's all my fault, I'm sorry, to me. Ace said. Trey looked at them, seeing the determination in their eyes. You guys got it. I can overwrite Riddle's magic for a short time. When that happens, I'll leave it in your care. Headmaster, please escort the others to safety. Wait a minute, you boys. That is dangerous. Crowley said, concerned for them. He's right. What are you saying, Trey? There's no way you can win against Riddle. Kater added in panic. It's too lame to keep losing to people we challenge. Ace said. Grim agreed. It's totally not cool at all. We have to try at least. Izumi said as she put a hand on Kater's shoulder. This is the only way I can think of to make him come back to his senses. Deuce said. Yeah, I can't lose him yet. There's something I still have to tell him. Trey said with determination. DMN it. I get it already. There's really no other way, huh? Kater sighed. Good grief, I'll return as soon as I escort the others to safety, so please stay safe until then, all of you. Crowley yelled, still in concern. As the others fought, Izumi looked at her book, thinking of Caduceus, and the book revealed how to summon him. Zubin, help the others keep Riddle busy. I'll summon Caduceus to help. Izumi said as the machine knight nodded. Then she summoned the Knight of Aries and Gemini. Sheraton and Pollux. Pollux multiplied himself to help the others as Sheraton gained a power boost from Riddle's fire, and Acubans came to shield the others too. Izumi, all the pieces are in place. Summon Caduceus. The voice from her dream said. Izumi was determined to help Riddle. Pollux, Acubans. The two knights nodded as they became stars and flew up. O na Gitachan Nimhe Demia, Germ Telarch Knight Constellar Caduceus. A new knight in bright gold and Tyran purple emerged. He brandished a sword and a shield, similar to a Caduceus. Let's test your luck, young tyrant. He said in a deep voice. The boys were surprised at this. I thought Izumi couldn't use magic. Trey said in amazement. If it weren't for the situation, I'd get my camera. Kater said. Riddle just sneered as the overblot creature attacked, but Caduceus blocked it with his shield. Then he countered the rose tree with his sword, slicing it in half. Time to end this. Caduceus nodded at Izumi. Now, Constellar Tempest. A bright star circle emerged from the sky of Caduceus, raised his sword, and meteorites flew down, attacking the overblot creature as the bottle head shattered. I was wrong. That's not true, is it? Mother, Riddle said as he faded into unconsciousness, the blot wearing off. Then something in her mind told her to take the ghost camera and use it on him. What Izumi did not expect was to be pulled into Riddle's childhood memories. The more she'd hear the voice of Riddle's mother, the more she disliked the woman. From the sound of things, she was constantly shoving stress and pressure down her son's throat. It also seemed that she never even told Riddle, "I love you," like a decent mother should. And in one unexpected memory, she found she was right about Mrs. Roseheart's true status among others. No one would actually come up and talk to her. Sure, they pity Riddle for having such a mother, but they were too afraid to even confront her. So they would keep their kids away from her, or would find an excuse to change doctors because of her harsh judgment on their children's upbringing. Brilliant woman or not, being a professional doctor does not give you the right to dictate someone else's child's life. After that flow of memories, she heard Riddle's voice. "Whenever I broke the rules, even the fun times were taken away from me. That's why, I had to listen to every rule that mother said. Because my mother, who was known by everyone in town, will always be right. But, you know, Mama, I wonder why. For some reason, my heart feels so heavy I want to eat a strawberry tart even if it's only on my birthday. I want to play outside more. I want to make more friends. Please tell me, Mama, what rule should I follow to make this sadness disappear?" Izumi reached out, to get his now unloved hand, and upon grabbing it, a strange sensation overcame them. As if a click fell into place, and they felt whole. "Don't worry. It will be okay. It was not your fault for having her as a mother, but she was wrong on being so strict with you. You don't have to do things alone. I'm here now," Izumi said, smiling. Riddle was surprised as this happened, and the marks on their hands gained a red color. "We should head back," Caduceus said. "The others are waiting," he said as a light overcame them. Riddle had heard Trey's voice, and he could tell it was truly concern for him. He also felt he was in some kind of embrace. But wasn't anything like his mother's. It was genuine and warm. As Riddle woke up, he found himself in Izumi's arms and holding one of his hands in a reassuring grip. His face flared in embarrassment when he realized he was laying in her arms. "He's coming to," she said, making the others sigh in relief. "Phew. I totally panicked. I don't know what we'd have done if you didn't wake up," Cater said, putting a hand over his heart. Riddle looked around the garden, which was now a mess from his overblot. Panting, "What in the world have I done? What a relief. You've gained consciousness again. Miss Izumi was able to save you." Crowley smiled, nodding at the girl. Her knights helped her and Riddle steady themselves. "Saved him? I saved someone. I didn't really use a quirk, but," she thought. "You don't have to think about anything right now. You need to rest," Trey added, kneeling to his friend's side. "It's 'cause you spoil him like that he throws tantrums when he gets scolded. What he did was no joke, you know. We almost died there," Ace reminded them. "Indeed, it was no joke," Deuce agreed. "Geez, you can't go wild just 'cause you need to release stress, Yano," Grim stated, putting his 2 cents in. I really wanted to eat that Marin tart, too," Riddle began to confess, gaining everyone's attention. While the boys were looking confused, Izumi just softly smiled. "I like white roses, too. And pink flamingos are totally fine, and I prefer honey over sugar in tea. I actually like milk tea more than lemon tea." I wanted to talk with everyone. "After meals more, too," the redhead said as his voice started to crack. "Riddle," Trey said softly. "NIV always wanted to play with you more, Trey," Riddle cracked before he started crying into Trey's chest as Trey enveloped him in a hug. "No way Riddle is crying," Cater said, surprised. "Of course he is. He's been holding in all that pain and resentment for so long he wasn't allowed to," Izumi thought. "Hey. Don't think that I'll forgive you just because you're crying," Ace said before Sheraton kicked him upside the head and he fell to the ground. "Ow. What was that for?" "You really should learn to read the atmosphere," Deuce said, frowning at Ace. "I'm sorry, too. I always knew you were suffering, but I kept quiet," Trey said as he let Riddle let it all out. That's why I'll say this now. Riddle, you were wrong. You should apologize to everyone here. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Riddle cried out as Izumi rubbed his back in comfort. I actually wanted you to say sorry for everything you've done, dorm head, but Ace on the other hand, as if I'll be satisfied with a single sorry. I'll never forgive you ever. And that earned him another hit to the head. The heck you. Ace glared at Serena, who glared back. In this situation. Really? Grim asked. Of course. I experienced a lot of trauma. And the marin tart I worked hard to make was thrown like garbage. I won't forgive you easily even if you cry, but we should have a do-over of the unbirthday party. Ace said, having everyone look at him. We weren't even allowed inside the party. Also, bring a tart that you made next time. Ah, you can't ask Trey-senpai for help either. Make it yourself from scratch. If you do that, then I may or may not forgive you. Okay, I'll forgive you then. Ace suddenly changed his mind when Zubin glared at him. Instead of looking sad, Riddle actually had a teary smile. Yeah, I got it, indeed. What a appealing turnout this has been. Let's say things are settled for now, shall we? Crowley said cheerfully. Yeah, but now we need to fix up the garden before rescheduling another unbirthday party. Cater lamented. All but Akubans vanished as he helped Riddle get to the nurse's office. Izumi accompanied them. Although she missed Grim finding another of those black stones. Crowley came by to see on Riddle's condition, and found Izumi was there. They were looking at the marks on their hands. Riddle had a 8-point star while Izumi had a rose, both in red. He squawks. Rose hearts, Midoriya. You two are soulmates. He said in surprise. This is a soul mark. I heard of them before, but this is my first seeing one. Riddle said. Soul mark? Izumi asked. Yes, there are actually two different soulmates. The platonic and the romantic. Crowley explained. Platonic have more simple designs, and more friendship bonding. Romantic is a different story. They start out black and have more detail than platonic marks. But they turn color when the two people in question make direct contact with each other, say like holding hands. It will also feel like a click is in place. As if you found something irreplaceable. However, there have been few reports of soulmates finding each other to the point they're almost non-existent. Riddle and Izumi looked at each other before blushing and turning away. Wait, if mother finds out Riddle said. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. Crowley said. Soulmates are taken very seriously. It's said they become a part of you, and it's been said that being in proximity of a soulmate gives a boost in magic. Trying to separate soulmates or even destroy their bond is a serious crime as it can severely damage their health. Even the rulers of their respective countries, especially Queendom of Roses, takes it very seriously. So Mrs. Rosehearts can't be allowed to intervene, or she would risk arrest. Crowley reassured. Riddle was surprised at that, as he had no knowledge of that. Izumi was shocked, she was Riddle's soulmate. Then her thoughts went to the other marks on her body. Crowley, has there been cases where a person has more than one soul mark? She asked. Crowley was confused before thinking. There have been a few, usually no more than 2 or 3, but that is said to be rare. Izumi then revealed that she had 6 others and described them. My goodness. Midoriya, you keep surprising me. No one has ever heard of a person having 7 soul marks. This could change a lot of research on the subject. Crowley said. Riddle and Izumi watched as he left muttering of the event, and Izumi looked at Riddle. Still, I guess your mom can't have me leave now. Riddle smiled, happy his mom can't demand something for a change. Do you mind if Grim and I join the redo of the party? She asked. Riddle beamed. Of course, rule number 15 states to never refuse a maiden's request. Izumi giggles. Now that's one rule I would get behind.